guilty of crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? I'm Jay with Guilty of Crime, and we're back. Happy Friday. What's up, Loudmouth? You say I'll be in the replay crew. I'm at work right now. Well, guess what? We're going to do a call-in show today. So come on in, guys. Come on in. If you're new here, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Hit all notifications. Subscribe so you can get all the notifications from the lives and the videos that I put out. All right. So welcome, KC Chiefs for Life. Thank you for becoming a member. And Andy, member for 4 months. This just came up on my stream, so I'm going to assume you repurchased your membership. What is up, everybody? How you doing? When do you come on with, girl, when do you come on with WTO? What's the obsession? Is that what you're talking about? I'm not really sure, but what's up? Let me know in chat what you're talking about. What's up, Maria? How you doing? Good to see you. Sadie's mama, love you. Janet, how you doing? Panda, and you guys, I got to tell you, today's gonna be a wild show because we're talking about Stephan Sterns, prison chomo. We know what happens. He begs for help and protection. I got to ask you that as a question because right now, I don't know. I don't know where this is coming from. And we're going to go through that today. So we know Stephan Sterns has now pled guilty and he's going to be serving life in prison, right? He's never going to get out. Nothing like that's going to happen. Jen Sodto has not been arrested yet. And we don't know what's going to happen with that. But I got to tell you, next week, I'm coming out with some new content, not only about Jen Sodto and speculation on how she was actually suffocated or strangled, asphyxiated. What was she asphyxiated by? Who did Jen help? Has Jen given it away in her statements? We're going to talk about that next week. I think that's going to end up being a 2-part show. So we're going to do that next week. And then I have some analysis from Stephan Sterns' friend from a while back. And I want to know if you guys think that Stephan Sterns' friend or friends had anything to do with the CSAM distribution or any of it, right? Because people that hang with Stephan now know, or maybe they knew before. So today we're talking about Stephan's protection. Is that really happening? Or are we making assumptions right now because we know what's going to happen? Did he even get transferred yet? I don't think so, but we're going to talk that out because I have some little bit of inside information from behind the scenes. And you guys know that I have had conversations with Stephan Sterns, and I'm waiting for him to send new messages to me from his next app. So the next app will not be smartinmate.com. It's going to be changed. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that because, of course, I talked to Deb to find out what's going on behind the scenes. And as a matter of fact, Deb sent me that picture over there. She knows the fate of her son eventually. But I think that maybe what we're talking about today, we're going to have call-ins because I think it just may be a supposition, and it definitely makes people feel better inside when they start thinking about what's going to happen to Stephan and who's going to do what, and is he going to be someone's bitch, and is he begging, is he getting extorted? I know it makes people feel good to think about that. Remember, vigilante justice. As a matter of fact, I got to tell you guys something. When a part of the conversation I did have with Stephan Sterns was, most of it was trying to find out what's going on up here, how he feels about Maddie, how he felt about Maddie. I talked to him about the note. All right. I talked to him about that love note that they found in his Bible. And he said, yeah, I did that love note. I love her. I'd have given my life for her. So now I'm waiting for the next set of messages from him. And I'm waiting for him to come with the new, his new contact information. And I told him, I asked him how he sees himself if he was to be a character. That gives you a lot of insight. And he asked me the same thing. He said, what character or what villain do you identify with most? And I told him, and this was the last conversation that we had. I literally told him, I identify with Dexter. And if you guys know about the Dexter, yes, he did. He told me all about the love letter. He didn't deny it or any of that. Right now, his picture's up because we're talking about Stephan Sterns today, but he's the monster that took her life. So I wanted to put that up there so you know his head was shaved. He was processed. That's him. And this is what we're talking about. He's part of this case with Jen Sodto. So may Madeline Soto get the complete justice she deserves. Right now, we don't feel like it because we don't know exactly what happened. He took a plea deal for everything, and now he's going away forever. And we don't have to hear anything. We don't have to hear anything about him unless he wants to talk. So that being said, that's the deal. And we're going to try to keep up on that. Yeah, we talked about the leash in the Madeline Soto case, the leashes in the poodle ambulance, the leash. We want to find out, was that the leash that took Maddie's life, and was that what Jen was telling us? So we're going to go over that next week, but today I'm not talking about that. Today I'm talking about Stephan Sterns begging for help and protection and what's really going on in the case. And then we're going to go over some Jumpsuit Pablo, his buddy, that talks about it also, because they know about prison justice in Florida way more than I do. I have not been, thankfully, in trouble with any law or any of that. So I don't know. When I talk about that kind of stuff, I'm just guessing, or it's just information that I learned from somebody else, right? Because I don't want to know about that. No, thank you. What about exactly? What about the 35,000 victims? And it wasn't 35,000 victims. It was 35,000 photos with other children as victims. And I got to tell you, Jay, the Italian cookie, there's more that's going to come out. I've been watching real closely in Florida and the different trafficking and racketeering and pedos in Florida. There's a lot going on there that is not just Stephan Sterns, but were they involved with Stephan Sterns? Did they contribute to part of those pictures? All right. So how many other victims are there? We're going to keep up on this. Now, even though this case is technically, we're not going to be reporting on it every day because I want to bring other victims to your attention and for the families to have a voice. We will keep covering this as more things come out. I also have, I don't know if there's a guy named Uber Fubar that wants to do some analysis for us on this channel. Now, let me tell you, he literally helped RCMP in Canada, the Canadian police. He helped them to analyze the Daniel and Malaya. All right. So I want to talk to him about analyzing Stephan Sterns. I'd also like to talk about what did he say about Daniel and Malaya. Now, that's a different case, but yes, you do, my friend. Get back into the green. Yeah, by the way, you guys, help support the channel. If you can help by hitting that like button, it's free. If you have a membership and you already have one, if you want to gift memberships to those, please do. That's everything that will support the channel to keep it going. So thank you. I did my my spiel. How you guys doing? Good to see you. And yeah, we need to. I absolutely have always believed that Jen either had a huge role or did it herself. And I've always said Stephan and Jen have a pact. There's a reason why Stephan's not throwing Jen under the bus. And there's a reason why Stephan pled no contest to the capital M charge. All right, there's a reason. There's a reason for everything. No coincidences in true crime. So hit the like button. We have almost 200 people in chat and only 81 likes. Come on, guys, let's get up there so we can keep this going, do some call-ins, etc. All right, and then say a prayer that Maddie gets the justice she deserves by number one, Jen Sodto being arrested, and number two, Stephan Sterns being put in a place where he's not going to be so happy, and we're not going to hear all of the my anime and my origami, all that. Maybe we're going to hear what jumpsuits and P&O are saying. I don't know, but I just don't think we're there yet. And I'm going to talk about that. All right. So all suppositions until we hear further. So let's get into actually what the latest news is about Stephan, actual news, and then we'll go from there. What's up, One Love? Good to see you, my friend. And Michelle says some people get mad at the prosecutors for not charging. Do you think they may know more than you? Well, they absolutely know more than me, that's for sure. I'm sure they'd like to, but believe them when they say they don't have the right evidence. Okay, now I've never heard them say they don't have the right evidence for Jen Sodto. I've never heard them say that, and I've never heard law enforcement say, guess what? Do not mention Jen Sodto. She is in the clear. We've cleared her every which way. There's no evidence in the case against Jen Sodto. I've never heard that. And if anybody in chat has ever heard them say they've cleared Jen Sodto, please let me know and I'll stop talking about her being involved. If she's cleared, then she's cleared. Then we'll just speculate on what a terrible mom she is. All right. So I've never heard that ever. All right. And a lot of people are angry that Jen's free. And that's why we're going to talk about it tonight. We'll talk about it a little bit, but hashtag arrest Jen Sodto. But next week, we're going to really give Jen another look. All right. And again, if you guys hear something that I don't know and the police said they cleared her, please reach out to me. guiltyofcrimebyj@gmail.com. All right. Hello from New Mexico, the Orange Table. How you doing, my friend? She needs to be locked up. I agree. Is she going to be locked up or is she just a terrible mother? Is it okay? Is it against the law to be a terrible mother? Yes, it is. All right. So just Josie, good to see you, my friend. Hashtag arrest Jen Sodto. All right, let's see what really is in the news. And then I'll tell you what Deb said about Stephan. Did he move? Where is he? What's happening? Is she going to go see him? I know I can probably get an interview with him after he's all settled in. Am I going to go to Florida? Maybe at some point, but you know what? I'll definitely give him an interview if I can. Now, I don't think we have to speculate how much of a bad mother. She's already proven that. Well, we're not speculating that she's a bad mother. In my opinion, she is a bad mother and we've seen it. So yeah, that's past speculation. When I speculate, I'm speculating that hashtag arrest Jen Sodto, that she may be arrested at some point. That's speculating. Now, Jen Sodto being a bad mother, she tells on herself with the statement she makes, not me. All right. So what's up, Nat? Thank you so much, Nat, for the One Guilty of Crime membership. It all helps. And we're at the beginning of the month. So luckily we have all month long. So thank you. All right, guys, let's see actually what. Let's just take a look at the news real quick so we can see when the last thing that came out, what really is going on. Is Stephan already there and getting punked? Is he being extorted right now? Are we hoping that's what happens, or is that actually happening right now? I'm not sure. All right, Jen, travel safe. All right, no, they didn't say she was innocent, but they said it was Stephan only. I'm sure they feel she knows more, and she is a horrible mother. But I got to tell you, Michelle, thank you for letting me know that. Police, law enforcement, whatever, whoever's looking at this case does have to say that she is in the clear and there's no criminal charges. And for me to stop speculating. So, and that happens quite a bit, guys. That happens a lot where police say, stop messing with the family, stop messing with this mom. We've cleared her and there's no evidence. Move on. All right. All right, so let's keep going here. All right, and mods, do me a favor, keep an eye on chat because there's a lot of new people here today, and we're nice with each other, and we can agree to disagree. All right, so let's get going. Let's take a look at Stephan Sterns' new mugshot. Now, this came from Wesh. Now, most of the time, my coverage is from Wesh 2 in Florida direct so that we can get the first bit of information out there. Mama Sage, thank you for the $4.99 super sticker. I appreciate you so much. Miss Lady J, good to see you. Keep digging in, talking to Stephan Sterns, and help arrest Jen Sodto. That's what I love to see. All right. So thank you. Chrissy says, thank you, Nat, for gifting that membership. Appreciate it. I don't know why they're having me send this, but there you go. If you're looking for StreamYard there, I have a link you can check out and get a discount from me, both of us. So there you go. I know there's a lot of creators that ask me or new creators asking which platform to use to stream. And for me, it's StreamYard. All right. Thank you. Hello there. And Julie DJ says, I love this channel. I love the way you deliver content. I don't listen to the others, and you're doing a fantastic job. Well, I appreciate you, and I appreciate people listening to others just as perspective, and then we can always go over it. So, but thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Don't make the guilty of crime play for me. All right, so let's take a look at this from Wesh 2 News. That's a source here. You guys should definitely go sign up for Wesh 2 because they come out the fastest with the most amount of news. Now, right now, I know there's a lot of breaking news, shooters, etc. But thank you. You're here with me today. Jay, the Italian cooks. It's like hanging out with a friend. Oh, I was going to tell you guys. I know that you guys just got here in chat, but tomorrow I'm going to be streaming at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to do a live stream about the devil himself, Maxwell Anderson, and we're going to go over so I can wrap up the Sade Robinson case. And I'd love for you guys to come hang out with me as a friend on a Saturday night at 9 o'clock your time, 6 o'clock mine, and talk about that case and anything else you guys want to do. Just hang out. I don't normally come on the weekend, and I don't normally come on the weekend at 9 o'clock. All right. So do me a favor, try to come on over and hang out with Guilty of Crime tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right, there we go. Go to Wesh 2, sign up, get the latest news. All right, so Sterns' new mugshot released following the life sentence. And there's that. I'll play that in a second just because. All right, and then this is Stephan Sterns, who will spend the rest of his life in prison for the SA and capital M of Madeline, has been transferred from Osceola County Jail to Central Florida Reception Center in Orlando. Now, from what I hear, he's still there and they're still holding him. Now, they did his processing, shaved his head, but I thought he was already off. I thought he was already in the prison system. If I know more, you know more, let me know. Now, his new booking photo has been posted, obviously, on the Florida Department of Corrections website. This was posted like 2 weeks ago, and Sterns has been held in Osceola County since March of last year. Now, a lot of people say county is worse than prison, but I don't think that's going to be the case here, guys, because he wasn't doing too bad in Osceola with all the packages, all the things, all the goodies, having friends as neighbors, sharing passwords to phone pins, etc. That didn't sound like too bad of a time. So it says it's unclear when he'll be transferred to prison where he will spend his life behind bars. All right, so that's that. He's not there yet. He's waiting. Let's watch this and I'll let you know.
Are seeing the new booking photo for Stephan Sterns. Will spend the rest of his life in prison for the sexual abuse and murder of Madeline Soto. His new photo was posted to the Florida Department of Corrections website. We also uncovered overnight that Sterns is no longer in the Osceola County Jail, where he had been held since March of last year. He's now being held at the Central Florida Reception Center in Orlando, though it's unclear when he will be officially transferred.
All right, does anybody know from that area? I know I have some diehard people here that message me about this case, and you guys stay up on everything. Like, if somebody moves, you're like, Jay, and I love it. Jay, guess what? Blah, blah, blah. And you give me the whole breakdown. So if anybody in chat happens to know about either that place where he has been transferred now or anything else, if the processing versus prison, let me know. Stephan Sterns' mom is like Shrilla Mom, created a monster by enabling. Well, thank you for your opinion. I appreciate that. I think he's definitely spoiled But it's interesting how when I look at the parents of like Sharila's mom, and then I look at parents like Maxwell Anderson's parents, where they literally got him out of every trouble, everything, every time. It's a bit different. There's a bit more of a psychological baby in them versus getting him out of trouble 15 times and never doing time because you're always. So yeah, I mean, I guess in a sense we can say that. All right, Foxy Amazon, thank you for the 420 gifted membership. And people say that backwards. People say prison's usually a lot better than county, but I don't think that's going to be the case here. All right, I really don't. So let's get into it. Yeah, we know the hyoid bone was broken, and that takes they say a force of like 60 pounds to do that. So we don't know what was on her, what we have no idea because we haven't seen, and I don't know that we're ever gonna see an autopsy report. What's up, Gene? Good to see you. You heard me. Saturday tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come hang out with Guilty of Crime and the Guilty of Crime mods. All right. That'll be fun. Even though we're talking about a case, it's always good to hang out with you guys. And we're just going to chill, talk about the sentencing, watch it, and break things down because I want the full justice for Sade and I want to document it. I have a huge playlist or a huge playlist about Sade Robinson from the time her dad was walking along the beach looking for her head up until now. So, all right. Every place is bad for chromosomes. Okay. All right. Yeah, I agree. What's up, Auntie Ree? How you doing? All right. So we see this. We don't know if he's already, and we're going to talk about that today. Is he already in prison? Did it happen that quick? What's going on?
The prison where he'll spend his life behind bars.
Wait, what prison? They didn't say.
He'll spend his life behind bars.
They just said, all right, they just said he'll spend his life behind bars. That's it. That's all they said. Okay. So put that up there for a minute because they know you guys don't want to look at his face. And I get that. And Auntie Reese from Maine, what's up? All right. Contact. Yeah. Well, he already has been in contact with me. We've messaged each other back and forth multiple times. And the questions that I ask him are all questions that either have to do with, his thought process on Maddie or asking about the letter or just asking questions to get inside of his head and what he's thinking. I've never talked to a Chomo that I know of that magnitude and somebody that was on trial for or about to be for capital M. So yeah, I do want to know more. Absolutely. And yeah, we're going to do call-ins tonight. So stay here. All right. I'm so glad Sade's dad didn't come across her head. That would have been a horrible, absolutely heartbreaking. All right. Good afternoon. Good to see you. All right. Let's get into this so that we do have time to call in tonight. I'm not going to put the number up just yet until we get to later on when we're going to open the lines because then people will be calling. All right. Lori says, I don't think it needs said, but Jay and the mods, you're wicked awesome. Always ready with the real depth of these horrific crimes. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We're here to let you guys know about it. Yeah, no, there's no grooming me, sweetheart. I'm 46 years old and I've learned a lot about people and everything else way before I started true crime. All right. How has Jen not been arrested? We're going to talk about that all the time and then especially focus on that next week. All right. Chrissy Lee says, I just want to say thank you for covering the case and being so accurate and respectful. When I was a kid, I lost 2 friends and their mom, and it was done by the husband father. Chrissy, thank you for the $10 super chat, and I have prayers to you for anything that you still feel traumatized about, or, if there's something you want me to take a look at, guiltyofcrimebyj@gmail.com. I would be happy to do that. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. That helps support the channel right there. So thank you. All right. All right. So first I'm going to start with PNO, which you'll hear recommended by Jumpsuit. I want to hear what this guy says. Before I get into that, let me say this real quick. So, from a statement from Deb, because I said to Deb before I did this show, I said to Deb, did Stephan get transferred already? And has he called you and gave you the new information so that I can get in contact with him or that that I can let you guys know. Has he been transferred? That was the first question I asked. And is he calling you and saying to the parents, Chris and Deb, that he's being extorted or crying about, I need to get out of here. I'm on protective custody, or there's not enough guards to protect me, or I'm afraid for my life, or anything. And I'll give you her response in a second. What's up, Stolen Spirits? Good to see you, my friend. All right. So what she said was no. He has not moved facilities. He has not contacted her about moving facilities or anything for that matter. She says, no, all facilities have their own addresses. So the system will definitely change and it will go from smart inmate to something else. So she says, to my knowledge, he is still in central processing in Orlando. He has not been assigned. Not been assigned to a prison facility yet. I don't know where people get their information, but according to his social worker, he is still waiting to process. He will be held in isolation and protective custody. He will not be in any general population areas. I believe he will have access to a tablet. At this time, I don't know if they let him take anything with him but his Bible. All the books are being donated to the prison library. All that money he can't keep. They can't keep. Tax write-off, donations. I'll let you know when he moves and can contact us. All right. And then she says, I completely despise jumpsuit. And you can imagine why, right? All right. So I won't say exactly what you said because I don't want to piss Jumpsuit off, but when you talk about Stephan like that and say he's going to get something rammed up his butt with no lube, well, you gotta, I did that and I had to apologize to Deb because, well, that's just, we can be more creative about how we talk in a more intelligent way. So we could take the word of, pedo or choma or any of those words and come up with 5 other words to replace that is respectful. All right. All right. So let's get into it. Yeah, people are hoping and wishing, and I do too. I've reached out to Jumpsuit Pablo before. I also messaged him or tagged him in the video, and I love not only his commentary, but I don't cover his commentary much because it's his thing. And the way he talks is more of like me for entertainment purposes. It's not always so much the news. And that's why I wanted to get into it with you tonight about what is actually happening right now. And then we can speculate. All right. Hello, Annette. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. So let's start with this. This guy's P&O has 432,000 subscribers, and he should have more. I tagged him also in this video, so you guys should go over there and subscribe to his channel as well. Take a look there. It says Prison Chomo Stephan Sterns requests protection. All right. Yeah, he does crack me up too, but I am not. I make you guys laugh a lot too. Everyone says, Jay, you got me spitting over here. You're laughing. You got me laughing, but it's not because I'm sitting there cussing for hours. So we all have our own thing. And yeah, he cracks me up behind the scenes when I'm not watching or I'm not covering cases and I'm not watching serious stuff. Absolutely. Now, I've never run across this guy before, but when I heard Pablo talk about him being his connection to prison and et cetera, I said, I need to check this out. All right. So go join this guy. Go subscribe to this guy's channel. It is in my description. It's called PNO or PNO Stop Playing With Me. 432,000 subs. Go give him some more. All right. All right. Let's check this out. I have not watched this. Back. I have not watched this episode yet. So I'm reacting with you right now. And then we're going to get to Pablo. And then we're going to do call-ins. So come on in, sit down, hit that like button, share with your friends, all that stuff. All right. Hey, some people do say that. Some people are like, man, you're making me laugh so much. I almost peed. But I don't do that all the time because this week I've been covering really crazy, rough cases. And this is a good break from talking about all the children and the horrific abuse and having to see those photos. Because Maddie, we know the horrific abuse. And we're not going to go in detail over it again right now because, well, it gives me nightmares. And I don't want nightmares right now. Welcome home. Props to Jay. Ask good questions, yet not feeding into a sick. Absolutely not. I'm not feeding into his sickness. And I say shit that I don't care. If you don't like it, just tell me no. I mean, I'll tell you whatever I'm thinking. And then if you say, I don't want to talk to you anymore, or you're a jerk, or you're an ass, then don't talk to me. But I'm going to be honest whether you like it or not. All right. That's just how it goes down. All right. Hit that like button. Let's get to it. Let's hear what this guy has to say with his prison connections and Stephan Sterns' request for protection. I want to know where that came from, and I want to dig deeper into that so I can find out.
To another episode of Raw Talk.
All right.
The hot shot. The one.
All right. A lot of
human garbage. The scum of the earth named Stephan Sterns. If you're unfamiliar with him, he took advantage of a poor little girl.
Yep.
All the way to the age of 13, to where he ultimately decided to take her off this planet. Rest in peace to Maddie.
Yep.
And,
Yep.
You know,
that has to be said.
I spoke on this before, and
Absolutely.
I'll say it again before I get into the video and where
Thank
Stephan
you.
Sterns is currently housed at, because I have inside information.
And that's why we're getting to him, because Jumpsuit Pablo said go to P&O to find out more. And I want to know what he knows. I want to know what Pablo knows. Yeah, I want all that, right? I want to be able to do that for myself and say, hey, I got this connection in the system because of X, Y, and Z. It'll take some time, but we'll get there. In the meantime, it's awesome that these creators are so cool about reacting to their videos, etc. So props to P&O, props to Jumpsuit.
But I ultimately believe that Stephan Sterns should have gotten the DP. And I ultimately believe that if anybody qualified, all these true crime cases that we watch and all these true crime cases that we cover, if anybody was like a standing qualified.
And remember, guys, I feel the exact same way as this guy P&O. I absolutely told Deb from day one, hey, I want to talk to you, but here's my deal. Here's my perspective. And I think that Stephan should get the death penalty. Now, he didn't get it when we didn't go to trial. So am I going to find the good in that? Yes. The good in that is that we didn't have to see all the stuff and all the abuse and read about it, about Maddie in the case, right? Okay.
For that hot shot, for Florida's governor to say, you know what? Take him off this planet, for the prosecutor to pursue the DP and ultimately, not let him get away with it.
All right, we're going to listen a little more, but you guys, we're going to have call-ins. So remember what we're talking about. So when you call in, you can say, hey, that guy had this and I agree. And I'm still mad that he didn't get a trial. Let me know what you think when we do call-ins, because this is why we're having this discussion today. All right. So I put that up there I closed the phone lines right now. I put it on do not disturb, but we are going to have a call in and I'll let you know when.
This life sentence that he has, he is the perfect candidate. He's the perfect candidate.
Really?
His charges make him the perfect candidate. And ultimately, I believe that's what should happen to him. But hopefully he'll live in a life full of torment inside the Department of Corrections. And from what we know so far, he's going through it. So let's get into it. So as of right now, Stephan Sterns has currently requested protective management in the Florida Department of Corrections. And I know a lot of people are like, yo, Pino, what's protective management? I've heard of protective custody.
See, that's what I want to, that's what I'm trying to learn, because I don't know. I've never heard of this guy before. And how does he know? And that's where I want to know. I want to know what information, how does he know that? And what does that mean? And is it because he has inside information? And I believe it. When someone says that and they have 432,000 subscribers, I assume they're telling the truth and they have some credibility. And be real tutu. No, my friend. Happy birthday month to all the Leos and all the Virgos. It's not my birthday, but I am a Leo. So thank you. And I appreciate you, Joan. Thank you. Come on in, hang out. Let's see what this, how does he know this?
Never heard of protective management. So in the state of Florida, there is no such thing as protective custody. It's actually called protective management. And what happens with protective management is the inmate ultimately goes up to the officer and he's like, I'm scared for my life. This person, that person, this person, they want to kill me. I need.
Okay, great. So he has inside information, and now we know how. He's a convict from Florida prison, and Jumpsuit Pablo did 10 years in prison, and that's why he knows. All right. So thank you. Thank you guys for filling that in. Annette, thank you for gifting the One Guilty of Crime membership. I hope somebody gets this, gets a membership that wants it. All right. Good information.
To, get off this compound. I need to get out of here. You know what I mean? So they tell the officer this. The officer puts him in handcuffs. The officer brings him back to a confinement cell to where they will sit in that confinement cell for approximately 3 months before they transfer them to another prison. So that's what Florida's protective management system is. They have over 49 major institutions in the state of Florida. And when somebody goes and requests protection, the only thing that happens is they basically go to a confinement cell for about 2-3 months, and then they transfer them to a new prison. There's no such thing as a PC yard or any of the other stuff. I don't know about other states. I'm just speaking on Florida. So from what we know, Stephan Sterns is currently at CFRC, and he is on administrative confinement. Now, if you look his name up, it will say administrative confinement next to his name. Why does it say administrative confinement? Because he is not on disciplinary confinement. He voluntarily checked himself in. In prison terms,
which makes sense, right?
I'm scared for my life. Get me out of this dorm. And what happens again? They put you in that confinement cell. Classification. We'll sit there and go over your file for the next 2 months and decide what prison, the next prison.
I gotta comment on that. Be Real Tutu. I don't understand some of these cases. I don't understand, especially with Koberger. They did a deal before we even knew the horrific details, and now that the crime scene photos are coming out, I'm livid that they did that. At first, I was like, well, I'm glad they gave him. They gave Koberger a deal because, hey, like, we don't want, the families don't want to go through it, but half of them did, half of them didn't. And now that we hear and we see the photos, what he did to those children is terrible. And I assume that's going to be the same with Sterns. I'm assuming he didn't want his mom to hear about the awful, nasty things that he did to her, because it's going to be in the reports. We hear the high level of it. We don't hear all the details. And I imagine Stephan doesn't want Chris or Deb to have to hear any of that. And that was probably, I think, his biggest reason for having a deal. Number one, he didn't want to go to the death penalty, right? Nobody does. But I think the very first reason would be because he did not want those details to come out. And neither did Koberger. Right. And thank you, Cat's Meow, for gifting the 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. I appreciate you. All right. Nobody would want their mom and dad, especially ones that are funding them while they're in prison for the rest of their life. Can you imagine having to hear that? Maybe they would think twice. I don't know. That's a hard question to ask a parent.
Now, a lot of people could be asking, who is after Stephan Sterns? Who made him check in? Who
made him hit the door? That's what I want.
I'm here to tell you, it could be anybody. Literally, it can be anybody, because the fact of the matter is this man's charges are so nasty and so gruesome and so sickening that anybody, and there are a lot of fathers in prison, anybody with the right mind and a righteous mentality would think about what this sicko did and want to extract revenge. Now, from the last time I heard, he was being protected by a blood organization, but obviously that must have fell through the cracks.
Which is weird. That's really weird to hear that. And you guys definitely go subscribe to PNO, because this guy, I mean, just right off the jump, he's no nonsense. This video is 11 minutes long, and he's like, this, and this, and that's it. Don't question my shit. And I don't question this guy at all. He, Jumpsuit Pablo is like a goofier, funny version. This guy, I wouldn't want to mess with Pablo, but this guy is not playing. I'll tell you that. And I am glad that Pablo and P&O have come out and been rehabilitated, because you know what? That's what we want. We want people to be rehabilitated. We don't want to have someone go into jail or prison, come out in 10 years and pull Austin Drummond. Do we? No. I'm going to answer that question myself. No. And thank you so much. Clementine just sent me a Cash App. I appreciate you for that. Thank you so much. All right. Yeah. Stupid Austin Drummond. Look at that. Because he did not have someone to sit there and support and help him, or whatever his mind was going on. Just think about people that do have the support and they turn out like him or Pablo. You know what I'm saying? They're not committing crimes again.
Thank God. Our prayers have been answered. Now, in my last video, I mentioned that Stephan Sterns, he has a life sentence. So he's going to be bouncing around from prison to prison. He can only do this for so long. It's I want protection thing, right? And they'll send him to a prison that's probably, a little bit softer, where he can get away under the radar where nobody knows who he is, but it only lasts so long. It only lasts so long, and Stephan's going to realize that it only lasts so long, him checking in from compound to compound to compound. It's only going to last so long before he gives in.
And that's another thing. Again, we're talking about this all today. You guys know, as I see everything coming in, and this case was so near and dear to me and to you guys. I'm like, man, we need to address this. And Jay, the Italian cookie, you're right. You're absolutely right. You nailed it. Had there been a trial, Jen would have been brought into it. Whether they ever charge her or not, it's a different story. She would have had to be there. She was on the witness list. Of course, she was there that night and for the last 6-7 years. So you're right. That does piss me off. That pisses me off a lot. And I still believe even more so that Stephan Sterns and Jen Sodto had a pact. Pact, meaning they had a pact. You get my daughter, monetary gain, and you get this and I get that. Now go dump her. Go dump her. Because when we talk next week, we're going to listen to Jen call her daughter a body. And the officer says, a body? Not a body. Not a body. Maddie, your daughter. All right. All right. Let's thank you so much, Nikki. Stoked. I just found your channel. You guys do me a favor and shout out to Nikki for finding the channel and coming in, subscribing and all that. Welcome, Nikki. Welcome. Thank you. All right. And I do too. We're going to talk about that more next week, but hashtag arrest Jen Sodto, guys. All right. I'm not going to ever stop saying that until the police say she's cleared. And then I'll just call her a bad mother.
And what do I mean by when he gives in? Oh, Stephan's going to go and request those extra small blues from laundry. Yeah. Those ones that show that butt crack. Yeah, he's going to request those. Not only is he going to request those, but Stephan's probably going to be putting Skittles on his lips for the rest of his life. See, what you don't know is Stephan, he might be able to pay for protection here and there. And a lot of people, I remember in my comment section, they're like, Stephan's not rich. He's not rich. His people don't have money. From what I know, his people are dog breeders, right? Dog breeders make a little bit of money, right? But even
and you guys know that. I mean, we're talking about this and whatnot, but we know Chris and Deb are not rich, and I know that this whole thing has compromised their retirement. Right? They've had to move. You guys know that now because Grizzly talked about them having a new address. I didn't say anything about that at all. I would never out somebody that was trying to get away from death threats and tell you that they moved and then put their address up there, right? I don't know how many other creators did that based on that paperwork, but that happened. So no. And dog breeders and dog groomers are not rich by any means. If anybody here in chat does work with animals, please tell everybody in chat that when you love animals and you have a love like that for animals and you do that kind of job, you never get paid enough. All right. All right. Gene says, do you remember how Paul Flores shanked his first wife in Gen Pop? Kristen, he took the life of Kristen Smart. No, I don't. I actually don't. We're going to have to talk about that. Victoria says, I'm in Central Florida watching for Jen at the Target pharmacy. Yes. Victoria, my girl, stay with us then. Let me know. All right. No, I know they're breeders, my friend. I know they're breeders, but of course I know they're breeders. But breeders don't make a ton of money. And I know that for a fact. And I know anybody that works with dogs also don't. All right. Yes, there you go. They're happy just to break even. It is laughable, very laughable, and it's happy. I know my wife is a dog person, all right? My wife is a dog person, and she does it for the love, not the money. And I do think that everybody should do their job for the love and not the money, and the money will come, all right? It gives you enough anyway. And yeah, please, you're so... I love it, Tracy. You said I tend to disagree. Thank you for saying that. In my opinion, I know from all of the years working at a vet, my wife working at a vet and having her own business and knowing many breeders. I'm not ashamed that my first 2 Bichons came from a breeder. I love Bichons and I wanted Bichons and I got them. but they're not rich by any means. But if you guys know a rich breeder, let me know. Introduce me. We'll go swimming. All right. Go over their rich pool house and go swimming.
And so even if his people didn't have a lot of money, it only takes about $50 every 2 weeks to protect you in the Department of Corrections. There are very hungry inmates who will put their morals to the side to protect you in the Department of Corrections. Now, don't, start getting all red in the face and be like, he's going to be protected, because like I said, it only lasts so long. So from all in all, what we know right now is Stephan Sterns is having a hard time adjusting.
And what I'm saying, and of course, opinions are all welcome. You say it's their choice to subsidize him and he will drain their retirement. They're not going to let him drain their retirement, but the subsidizing them wasn't their choice at all. And that's for any parents, you guys. I'm not trying to stick up for any, I'm not trying to say, all I'm saying is that when people are giving death threats and coming to you and threatening you, that wasn't their choice. Freaking Stephan did that to his parents. As a matter of fact, the first time I ever talked to Stephan, I told them, you're an ass for doing that to your parents. You F them up. And he didn't talk to me. He messaged me back and said, I didn't think I was going to talk to you because you showed my cactus peen dick pic, blah, 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 whatever. You know all the stuff, right? You guys know we've been doing that from day one. But then he changed his mind. So that I can't agree with. Look at Carmelo. Look at the Carmelo Anthony case. The only difference is the parents went and profited off of it and are living it up. But did they choose to get death threats? No, their idiot son did that. And now they became idiots just like him and got themselves in the mix. So yes, I do understand that. Oh no, you're not being, call me cupcake. We're definitely having a discussion today. It's call-in day. So I want you to call in, and I never think you're being disrespectful. I like that you guys can respectfully say, Jay, I don't agree with you. All right, thank you. All right, let's go.
In the Department of Corrections, as he should. Some people believe he deserves a life full of torment.
Yes.
I think, that would be too good for him. I honestly don't think he's even good enough to walk this earth with us. I don't think so. The fact of the matter is he took Maddie way too soon. He took Maddie at 13, bro. Yes. This little girl didn't even get a chance to go to high school, didn't experience a prom, didn't experience her first boyfriend. You took all that from her. All that. So in all, when they're, people are like, Florida's weird, you guys, you're promoting this crazy stuff, and man, dude, he took advantage of that little girl, and he ultimately took everything.
He did, and so did Jen Sodto, guys. Let's be real here. Had Maddie's life not been taken that night, the abuse still happened. And when I cover these cases and I see the abuse that's happened to these children from the outside, we're not even looking that close. And I'm getting I'm getting a little emotional here thinking about like yesterday's case and that little girl that was burned by boiling water. Had she not died, she still would have had to live with the fact that they were abusing her for years. And this is way off this was 6-7 years. Her body was wrecked, guys. I hear about these cases all the time, and you know what? Let me tell you this. These children that are abused for so long, they can't have babies anymore. Their insides are wrecked. The outsides are wrecked. Everything about them is wrecked in a sexual manner. All right. And for Jen Sodto to want to see those photos, my opinion of her wanting to see the photos was because she wanted to know what evidence they had against her and Stephan. Purely that's it. She didn't give a shit about what happened to Maddie. She didn't even call her Maddie. All right, Green Potato would have fought. Next week, you guys are gonna see what I'm saying. This is crazy. This is absolutely ridiculous. Hashtag Jen Sodto needs to be arrested. If Maddie wouldn't have gotten her life taken, she'd have still been really effed up for the rest of her life.
From that little girl, he took every bit of innocence from her. He took her whole life from her. So ultimately, if somebody is doing the same to him in the Department of Corrections, I will not shed a tear. Karma is a bitch.
Yeah, that I agree.
So when Stephan's walking around the compound going, "Hey, Fifth Eye," with his little red lipstick on and his blue pants and a canteen bag, as a shirt, little see-through mesh blue bag, using it as a little, see-through holy shirt. Holy moly, roly poly. And ultimately, I don't feel
Now
bad
he's
for him. When he's walking around with that fishnet shirt and them tight blues and
all right. Now we're getting jumpsuit Pablo-ish. So if you guys now we can lighten the mood and laugh a little bit. I did get a little emotional just thinking about the children that we've been covering, and then Maddie. So it's hard. I'm glad that I didn't have to see all that stuff. Thankfully. It's awful, guys. It's awful. All right, let's keep going. And I got to tell you, these people that go into prison, they don't ever talk about that stuff that happens to them. I'll tell you that right now. They don't talk about that stuff. And I'll tell you why from experience. I have my brother and my nephew both did 5 years, which is weird. Coincidentally, 5 years. And that's not even a question. I tried to ask, were they assaulted extrally? I tried to ask about their mental and what people did to them. What they get from them? Did they make? They don't want to talk about it. Nobody that I know that's been to prison ever wants to tell anybody what happened to them. All right, you have a daughter, Jay, so you know how bad this mother is. My daughter is 26 now, but I couldn't imagine. I have a daughter and a son. I have a 25-year-old son that I protected his whole life to make sure that nothing happened to him in his sleep at a sleepover, nothing happened to him. And also my daughter's 10. Yes. All right, let's keep going.
His boyfriend's taking advantage of him in every single way.
Oh, wow.
Again, calm as a bitch. He's getting everything he deserves. Let's just hope that the officers in confinement, or maybe the orderlies in confinement, know
it has been a business
why this scumbag is incarcerated. Let's just hope that one of these people watched the news and seen the sickness in the case. And, me as a father, I wanted to throw up.
It's not talked
when I heard
about
the details of the case. So
and me too, guys. Me too. I got sick. I had nightmares. It was awful. So yes, when I had to read those damn documents for the first time, it's disgusting. And I never wanted to see anything like that again. And then yesterday too, it was heavy on my mind with that little girl Genesis, what they did to her. Oh, okay.
I know that I, as a father, wanted to throw up just hearing the details of the case. Let's hope one of these orderlies or one of these officers, where Stephan's hiding at in confinement right now. Hiding. Yeah, he's hiding. He checked in.
And thank you, Jennifer, for the $10 Cash App. You and Clementine, thank you so much, guys, ladies, people.
Hiding. Let's hope one of these officers or one of these orderlies know his case or happen to see it on the news. And let's hope they do disturbing things to his food daily.
Yep.
Disturbing things. Let's hope they mess with his mail. Let's hope they flip his cell every time he goes out to have a shower. They flip it, destroy his stuff, rip up his little artwork or whatever he has going on, his little journal. Rip it up. Throw it in the toilet. Any pictures? Throw them in the toilet. You don't deserve pictures of mommy and daddy. You don't even deserve to be breathing the same air. Facts.
And look at his face. I mean, his face, you can see it in his face that it hurts him to even think about it. I don't know this guy. I've never seen him before. I just came across his videos because of Pablo, but you can tell in his heart, it's making him feel better to talk about that. And a lot of you as well. A lot of you, nobody wants this to be swept under the rug where we forget about little Madeline Soto and let Jen Sodto keep continuing on with her life when she played a huge part in this. All right. What's up, Melodrama? Good to see you. Thank you for the $4.99 super sticker. It looks like you guys are finding your way through YouTube and able to change your names to something a little better. Faith and repentance, take comfort knowing whatever Stephan goes through, he won't be sedated like Maddie. He will suffer. All right. And thank you guys for being respectful in chat. You guys agree to disagree like you are. You're doing great. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. It's not always easy to get people that don't like each other to respect each other. You do not have to like each other to respect each other. You can respectfully say, I don't agree with you. And if it were me, I wouldn't do this, this, and this. But if it were you, hopefully it's not you. All right.
So ultimately, what's going to happen is Stephan Sterns is going to end up sitting in this confinement cell for about 2 months. Like I said, classification. So. They're going to go over his paperwork. That they're probably going over it right now as we speak. They're going over his paperwork, and they're going to figure out what prison to send him to. Ultimately, they're going to look at an open bunk list, and he's only at the reception center. And
okay, so it is.
So he's making it.
Okay, this is great. We already know P&O is fantastic. He's doing his homework. He knows people, and he's not falsely reporting on Stephan Sterns is in there. And I love it. I love it. This guy's great. We have a new person to watch this channel. All right, what's up, Kimber Smiles? Good to see you. Shout out. Busy enjoying summer. Me too, my friend. Me too. I was gone a lot this summer, and now I'm back. All right. Yeah, we don't castigate anyone here except for the predators. And then we're smart enough to use more respectful words than cuss. But blah, blah, blah. We got to think of words to substitute for cussing.
Known to classification that he is scared. He is not, trying to go out there with the big boys on the yard. He needs to go to, a little bit lesser violent areas where he's making it known to classification. So what's going to happen is classification, they're going to look at open bunks and prisons that do have, because there's 49 major institutions in the state of Florida. So they're going to look at these 49 institutions. They're going to see which one houses a lot of lifers and which one has the less violence rate. Hopefully, just like the orderly and the confinement officer, hopefully the classification team, seeing this guy's disgusting case and they decide to send him to the most hardcore prison in the state of Florida. Hopefully they send him to like Jackson Correctional Institution or Taylor or Charlotte or Appalachia or Century. These are prisons where ultimately Stephan is walking a thin line of breathing. I mean, breathing in general, because once they...
All right, mods, we're getting to the second part of this. Then we're going to do call-ins. Please watch chat there. All right. We don't want people threatening other people or saying mean things. You can say things to each other respectfully, but don't say things that are like that. Yeah, not at all, please. And what's up, Grendel? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, don't attack anybody in chat, please. All right. All right, go sign up for P&O. He's great. I love his real, that's why he has 432,000 followers, because he's real. He does his research, and he's just so passionate. I love it. And Jumpsuit Pablo is like a different kind. It's interesting because he's a different kind of creator, but he's more of a lighthearted, which is kind of what we need right now, right? It's getting heavy in here. All right. It's getting heavy in here. How you doing, my friend? Yeah, Jen, a lot of people speculate that Jen is talking to Stephan secretly. No, my friends. I can tell you right now, Jen is not talking to Stephan secretly. All right. She's not that dumb. And once they had the pact and they split and Stephan got arrested, she didn't contact him anymore. She ran. She saved herself. And let me tell you what, she is Maddie's other parent, and she had the say so as much as Tyler did about letting them take a deal. As soon as they said take a deal, she was like, yes, I'm taking a deal. I don't have to go on the stand. I don't have to face anybody. All right. Could you not have gone to a Chomo rehab and see what makes them tick? Why him? He'll feel special. I don't even know what a Chomo rehab is, but over these, I don't know what that is. So I don't know. I mean, I watch a lot of things about chomos and rehabilitation. And in my opinion, they never tell the truth, but they always follow the rules. I don't know about a chomo rehab, but, I want to get the information from the source if I can. All right. Let's take a look at Pablo. And then I need you guys to get ready for whatever you want to talk about, because we're gonna have a call-in show. Hopefully our guilty of crime boyfriend Chief Rocka calls in, and anybody else that has any input on this case, respectfully. All right, don't worry, women are equally as violent towards mothers who hurt kids, right? And look at Casey Anthony fumbling around the world while people are watching her, following her, and her life continues to fall apart. And you're right, Clementine, he will be old news someday, and pretty soon at that. All right. Thank you for popping by to say hi, Living Story Worlds. Appreciate it. All right. What's up, everybody? How you doing today? Happy Friday. All right, let's get into this. We're going to lighten the mood a little bit because this week has been a tough one. All right. Everybody knows if you guys are in the summertime with the children and all that, school starts on Monday. All right. School shopping had to be done for clothes, for blah, blah, blah. Summer's over. Back to the routine. All right. There's a Chomo prison that tries a rehab at tier level thing as far as I know of. You know, I watch Man Do a lot, and I watch a lot of predators on there try to go up for parole, and it makes you learn a lot about them, but I never actually talked to one, so I don't know I want to go to that. All right, let's get into this. I'll fast forward
Stephan
the intro.
Sterns hasn't even made it through his doctor checkup in prison before begging the staff for help and protection, and he's been given it. Well, kind of, because trust me, it's not much help, and it's only temporary. It will not last forever, and it will only make...
And you see why we watch PNO first, because they're creators that get to the real deal. They read news articles, and they speculate a little, and then after that speculation, it gets to the next level, what people try to call clickbait, which is not. If you're a creator on YouTube, you guys know what I mean. It's just called having different perspectives on a case and respecting each other. All right, so here's another perspective, and then you guys will call in, and you can tell me your perspective. All right, I don't think those special pedo jails work. They, you know what? In my opinion, Miss May, I don't think they work at all. Those people lie, and you're not rehabilitated. They still want to do this. They'll tell you, the ones that are supposedly rehabilitated, they'll tell you that urge never goes away. They have to stop themselves from doing it, and if they got the opportunity to do it again, they would. All right, thank you, Ashton Lee. I appreciate that. All right, let's go.
His inevitable return into general population around all those other inmates that much more dangerous for him. And one group in particular already have their eyes locked on him. I'll explain everything. Let's get started.
Yep. You're right. They believe they've done nothing wrong, and they lie to get whatever they want.
You will spend the rest of your life inside because he pled guilty to heinous, awful, evil things. Probably the worst charges any criminal,
yeah, I agree,
who is going to prison could go to prison for. At least in terms of your safety and how that's going to be viewed by other inmates, right? Now, Stephan Sterns didn't make it 2 freaking weeks before he got there at the evaluation center. Every inmate, and he's in Florida, if you don't know, every inmate has to go through this evaluation and intake in pretty much every state prison system in America. You know, they're going to do their little doctor checkup and your psych evaluation and see if there's any.
Just real quick, I want to give you guys a little chuckle while we're doing this. Somebody, I don't know if you know, I never want to say names unless I'm hyping up a channel. There's a channel that says guilty of crime, has people in Florida stalking Jen Sodto and out there trying to hurt her. Like, we're literally organizing some beatdown for Jen Sodto, and we're following her and watching her. I think that's funny. But this, maybe because of stuff like this, she says, I hate Jen. I swear if I ever see her, it's on sight. So many people on this channel hate her so much, but we're not stalking her, okay? But if you guys see her out in the wild, take a picture. Oh my goodness, that brought me to something else, guys. Somebody came out, or somebody messaged me and was supposed to send me photos. If any of you guys are in there, somebody went by Maddie's original memorial where her body was dumped, and they said that the owners of the land sized it down and got rid of most of it, and they were going to send me pictures of it. So I'm a little bit disturbed by that. We'll talk about it more after, but let me check my email and see if I got those.
Medication you're prescribed to, and they legally have to give you that, and just blah, 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 all that stuff. They got to see if you're in a gang. They got to see if you're just off your rocker and you need to go, to some like loony bin. Stephan immediately arrived at this intake center and said, hey, help, I need help. I'm scared. Oh, they're going to get me. I need some protection. That's what old
Right.
Stephan said. No, but seriously, he did. Here's the proof right here. And a lot of this information I want you to know is based off my own personal experience of 10 years in prison. Also the collective insight from fellow YouTuber Pino, who was actually a former inmate of Florida state prison systems, and he knows exactly how this stuff works and what's going on there. He's got a great video about Stephan Sterns that he posted yesterday. If you want to go check that out, I encourage you to, because he's got a lot more insight there as well. And then even I got to give credit to a inmate who is currently in the Florida State Department of Corrections, who I interviewed.
It's funny. I told a guy one time, "You sure do have a purty mouth." Oh my God. He got so pissed off. If you want to piss a dude off that's talking crap to you, or just get him off your back, say that to him in your best voice. "You sure do have a purty mouth." And yes, she's the most hated woman in the U.S. besides Casey Anthony. "You sure do have a purty mouth." Oh, that's funny.
A while back, you can find it in this video here, who pretty much predicted all of this and told me, hey, this is what it's going to be for Stephan Sterns. So that's where we're coming from. And let me break down what exactly is going on. Is Stephan going to be protected forever?
Yep.
Yada, yada, yada. Short answer is no.
Yes.
Basically, in Florida, there is no PC. There is no protective custody. You can get protective management, which is a bit different. As someone who did time in South Carolina, we do have protective custody. I know because I spent all my time there. No, I'm just kidding.
He probably was there quite a bit. You know, he had the phones inside, everything else. Sharon Belko, my Leo twin. Hello, my beautiful Leo twin Jay. Hello, awesome mods in chat. Everyone send a shout out to Sharon and send her lots of love and positivity. I won't say your personal business, but just big hugs to you, Sharon. Thank you for coming and stopping by. All right, let's go. You're going to give it a try, Jen's a gypsy. Tell some guy to piss him off. "You sure do have a purty mouth." You know, it's a good channel when you're so distracted by the awesome chat that you have trouble listening to Jumpsuit Pablo.
But protective management in Florida basically acts like, hey, if you say you're scared, we will put you in isolation for 60 to 90 days, let things cool down. This is for your average inmate, not just for Stephan, but this is just how it works on average. 60 to 90 days you'll be isolated, and then the case management review board will then say, okay, it's been a few months, he's probably okay now. Of course, we're not going to send him to the most deadly, dangerous, record-breaking prison in the state for the most attacks and stabbings. We're not going to send him there, but maybe a little bit of an easier, less problematic yard than most. We'll send him there. What Stephan's going to be trying to do is saying, I'm scared, I can't be here, I can't be here, I can't be here. It's like a Dr. Seuss book, Green Eggs and Ham. I can't be on a train, I can't be on a plane, I can't have them, I can't do time here, I can't do time.
All right, which you mean piano or Jumpsuit Pablo? So if you guys go to my description, I always put it in my description, but if you guys can drop a link, I think Canadian Jess is asking what Jumpsuit Pablo's. I'm not sure. Can you guys drop a link in chat? Oh, this is Jumpsuit Pablo. It's literally at Jumpsuit Pablo, and it's always in my description. I love it. Frank Shaw, Casey versus Jen. Maybe we can have a showdown with Jen and Casey Anthony. We can line up a boxing match and just let them knock each other out without any gloves on. How about that? You think they go for it for money? Because I heard they do anything for money, both of them. Rice Taylor says, I'm here. But where's Sherry? Sherry, where are you? Sherry sent me some awesome necklaces from Puerto Rico. So Sherry, thank you. If you come on, let me know that you're here in chat. All right. Puerto Rico, Pinot. Okay, Pinot. Thank you. Appreciate that. Shout out to Jay. Shout out to you. Sharon says, I love this guy. Well, we'll have a few laughs.
There, I can't do time anywhere. My God, look what they've done to my hair. His Dr. Stephan Sterns. That's his new nickname for me. He can't do time anywhere, and he's going to keep trying to play this system and bounce around. Thinking he'll always just be isolated and by himself and always, kept away from other inmates. This is not true. We know this is not true. Thanks to firsthand account.
No, I don't. That's the thing is we don't know which prison he's going to, but what they do with Chomos and what they do with people like that is they do house them together close to each other so that no one does that. But hey, you never know when somebody accidentally gets out, right? All right. Pinot is good people. Awesome. Thank you for being here. Angela, USA. All right. You sure do have a party mouth.
From Florida State Prison. What will happen is the classification system.
No, he's
Florida
not
prison
General
will catch
Pop.
on to this. It's nothing new. Stephan won't be the first or the last inmate to think, I'm going to outsmart classification.
Okay, so he's holding right now. He's in between. He's not in General Pop. He's not even in prison yet. He's still holding, and they're trying to whatever they do behind the scenes to find out. All right. Came up with. All right, let's keep going. Does anybody have faith that Jen is going to face charges? Well, we want to keep holding that faith until we hear otherwise. So I think everybody on this channel, not everybody, but most people do have faith that Jen Sodto will be locked up at some point, whether it's for neglect resulting in death or anything else that they can get her for. We'll see. I mean, I'm going to hold on to that little bit of faith until I don't have any more to hold on to. And like I said, once police clear her, then we'll just talk about her being a terrible mother. All right. Jesus loves all of you, my friends. Sarah Usray. All right. Old man candy.
And just continue, no matter what yard they send me to, what prison they send me to in the state, saying, oh, people here want to get me. Here's the thing. You can't just go to prison and say, hey, excuse me, I'm frightened. I think there's probably, I think there's a lot of bullies there. I don't want anyone to be mean to me. I think
what I meant is he's not in state prison where he's going to be housed forever. So absolutely, he's not in Gen Pop. He's in a state prison in classification, waiting to be transferred to his forever home. All right. Thank you for clarifying that. Sharon says, I feel like when she lets her guard down is when they're going to bring some charges on her, keep the faith. And we will keep the faith on this channel until we don't have any more. Then I got to listen to what law enforcement says, and we won't say that then. All right. You guys can say that, but I won't say that as a creator. I will let you know that she's not going to be charged and they're not looking at her. I will let you know that. I think she'll face charges. The cops are too quiet about her, so that could be they're investigating. I pray that if anyone has info on her, they'd come forward. Someone has to know something. I bet you the family knows a lot more.
I might possibly get shoved or slapped or even get in a fight. Please put me in protective custody. You can't, it doesn't work like that. Protective custody, you have to have a real, tangible, active, serious threat out against you and your life for something that is able to be confirmed and validated. It has to be. Most times people don't even get protective custody until they get attacked.
All right. And I'm glad he's saying that, because I do know the basic level of prison and jail. And yeah, you can't just go in there and say, I done messed up, guys. Can you protect me? I want to be in protective custody because I don't want to get raped like I did to my victim, Maddie. So no, you can't do that. But that is happening. He does have extra security, in my opinion, from what I've heard. And they know that he's a risk to be attacked at any time. Right? I do think her family absolutely knows more. But while we're here, guys, do me a favor. There's 444 people in chat. Let's say a prayer that Maddie gets the justice she deserves. And let's keep the faith. But also hit that like button so we can get this in the algorithm. And if you have the means to get a membership, gift a membership, super chat, super sticker, I'd appreciate it. It all helps the channel. All right. Appreciate you guys. And don't forget, tomorrow I'm going to be on at 6 p.m. California time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So Sharon, if you're around, anybody else who's around, come hang out with Guilty of Crime tomorrow night on a Saturday night, 6 p.m., 9 p.m. All right. I already put it up. I put the topic up. So yeah, come on over tomorrow. Thank you, Synth. I hope that you sell lots of cookies. Lots of cookies, guys. Synth has cookies. She gifted 5 memberships for you guys. Thank you. And yeah, hit that button to get Potato arrested and get this in the algorithm. We know her family watches our content, so we want them to see this. All right. We don't want them to think that we're stalking her, though. We wouldn't do that. I probably would tell her, though, you sure do have a purty mouth. She wouldn't even know what I was talking about. All right, let's keep going. We're going to do call-ins right after this, guys. So have something to say. We're going to do call-ins. All right. All right.
Usually by a gang. It's a gang member getting X'd out of his gang for breaking some major rule or snitching or something like that.
Yep.
And then you get attacked, and then they're like, oh, man, this guy's getting messed up. He's committed like a deadly sin of prison. They're going to get him no matter where he goes. I guess, yeah, he needs to go on protective custody. And here's the thing, people, they don't just have 15 million cells down there in any given PC. Even protective management or any part of any prison in any state of America.
And that's a fantastic comment there, Mib, because it kills me that Stephan made an impact statement, but Jen still didn't show her face even then. She didn't even need to show her face. She was, in my opinion, on the phone call with her sister Stephanie. When her sister Stephanie talked on speakerphone, I believe she was in the background. She's never showed her face, or she's never showed any kind of thoughts or feelings for Maddie. It's been all about Stephan, all about her. Maddie's just an afterthought. She didn't want to get in trouble. She didn't want to bother with going to any of Maddie's events, right? Not her birthday, nothing. She did go to the first funeral. I'll correct myself on that. She was at that funeral, and by the time the person messaged me that said she wasn't, because she had already left. But yeah, the true feelings, and when you look at Stephan Sterns' feelings that he has for Maddie and how he reacted on the news stations versus Jen, I know that they had a pact. I know that she let Stephan have full access to her daughter for monetary gain, for pills, for a babysitter. And that's why Stephan was so heartbroken, because I think he really did believe that he loved Maddie and she loved him. Right? Sick or not, QQQJ, if I can't speak my mind here respectfully, then maybe I don't need to be here anymore. I don't even know what happened, Indy Isham. Did I miss something? I have no idea what happened, my friend. You can absolutely speak your mind respectfully. What happened? All right, you guys let me know. You guys, if you can talk to Indy in chat or you want to email me, I don't know what happened, my friend. I've told everybody to speak respectfully, but there shouldn't be a problem. And I know there's a high amount of emotions in here. I was getting emotional earlier about Maddie, and we have people in here that you might not agree with, even me. But I don't think anyone needs to leave the channel. I'm sorry that you feel that way. You guys talk to Indy in chat. Maybe you can help. Okay, I have a joke, y'all. What kind of dish do you get when you use potato, Jen? Bum. What's the answer? All right, you got to let me know. Yeah, I don't know what happened, guys. People are reaching out to you, Indy. I don't know what happened. Yeah, right. Cry me a river. We need Justin Timberlake. Cry me a river. All right, what's up, Roberta? All right, let's keep going. You guys, mods, if you can help the chat get along. I don't know what happened.
It's like priority is priority. And there's always going to be a revolving door of people who are in more danger and are actually like having people come after them or have had them already come after them who need those spots.
Yeah, I don't know.
Prisons are already overcrowded. Stephan, you can't just sit there and cruise and be like, hey, yeah, I don't want to go. I'm just a little scared. I don't make friends so easy. I'm a little quirky.
Yep.
Call me crazy. I think I'd just rather be by myself. Brother, if you want to be by yourself, don't kill people. Don't do weird stuff with images of children and with children. Be a law-abiding citizen and get a one-bedroom apartment and stay.
And thank you for saying that, Jen's a gypsy. You're right. This is all dirt under the bridge. This has happened. We're here where we are. Stephan's waiting to be held in prison. We're making suppositions about what happens next. Jen Sodto has not been arrested. They have not announced charges. This already all happened, guys. And I know it's emotional, but yeah, let's not fight with each other. It's all happened. We're just having conversations And we're going to have much more. We're almost done here. And you're going to call in. Somebody's going to call in.
If you want to be by yourself. You don't get to do that. I think a lot of people think, oh, PC's just, hey, I need to go to PC. Oh, okay, you're good. No one will ever touch you again. You're safe. Not a little hair on your chinny chin will be touched. That's not how it works. And so eventually classification will catch on to what he's doing. They'll be like, all right, Mr. Slick Pants over here thinks he's smart. Go ahead and put him in the yard. You're not getting any more protective management. And he will be cast into, and it's like the more yards you've bounced around from, now you've gotten this rep. Because trust me, inmates see everything. They know who's doing what. They know what it looks like when someone checks in, which is prison slang for going to protective management.
Yeah, just real quick, guys. You guys have been here for a long time with me in the crime crew, and I don't go into other people's chats many times because I see the chats and people talking crap to each other, or I go in there and all of a sudden, oh, you're on that side, and I start getting attacked. Not like, hey Jay, I don't agree with you. Tell me what you think, but attacking me. So here, I don't want people getting attacked. I'm sorry if anybody feels attacked. But let's not do that, okay? Let's not attack each other. I don't condone anybody attacking each other, and all opinions are welcome. They're your opinions. Just don't say I believe you're a piece of trash and start. That's not an opinion. That's attack. All right, but yeah, say what you want in chat. You can call in and say what you want as well. Sharon says Jumpsuit Pablo has pretty lips. You sure do have a pretty mouth. He has pretty lips now that he got his teeth done too, right? Right, ladies? He's a lot more attractive with all those teeth. Thank you, Sharon, for the $4.99 super sticker.
Or protective custody, basically just saying, I need help, I need protection to the prison staff. They know that how that looks. We would be here for hours to tell you all the intricate details of how someone can easily tell.
You sure do have a pretty mouth.
What someone's doing. He'll get a reputation for being a guy who's just bouncing around, trying to be protected. Why? Because he's scared and because he has these charges. So that just puts the spotlight even more.
Oh, yeah, he's right, guys. You do not want to show a weakness. You don't want to show a weakness like that. And you never want to go into jail, prison, any of that, and tell someone you need protection. Don't even let them hear you telling the guards you need protection. Because guess what? They'll protect you, all right. And they won't tell you at first. They're not going to say to you, hey, I'll protect you, but you're going to bend over every night and get on your knees. They're not going to say that. They're going to come in one time and act like it's all good. Hey, my homie. Yeah, thanks for the honey buns. I'm going to protect you. And then after the second or third time, they got you to themselves and all this is going to go down. So, yeah, don't let anyone hear that. You need protection. That's all bad. All right, you say, I know Orlando Reception Center is usually a holding prison, but it sometimes becomes their permanent prison. Justice for Maddie. Arrest Jen Sodto. Perfectly said, K-Town, and thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know. I don't see fighting either. I'm definitely, I don't know. But whatever happened, let's not. We all have emotions, and it's very emotional. But what we can agree on is that Madeline Soto needs complete justice. And we just hit 444 again. So do me a favor, say a prayer that we can get along and get through this. And Maddie gets the justice she deserves. This isn't about us, guys. This is not about me or you. It's about Maddie. In the meantime, we'll have a conversation. I found guilty of crime for watching Jumpsuit and Dolly. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Or so on him. And it's like our, friend of the channel, this Florida inmate who's currently there and is going to be there for a long time and has already been there for a long time, has said, he'll probably try to be isolated and protective management. He said the same thing about protective management for a little bit, but eventually when he gets in general population, he's going to be washing people's boxers, washing people's clothes. He's going to be basically just a do boy, which means whatever I say you do, you do. Whoever the dominant inmates in that cell block are. But that was a while ago, and that's before we learned something about a specific group that has some beef for an entirely different reason other than his sickening charges with Stephan Sterns. So yes, point is Stephan will eventually go into general population. It might take 6 months, 8 months, but I guarantee you by next year, we'll see him in general population, and that's where the fun starts. Maybe sooner. But the gang in prison, the Bloods, they got an issue with him because it's been confirmed he was being extorted in the county jail of Florida by the Bloods. That's why you even see when you saw that headline.
Right. And that's a good, you saying, I don't believe that there's an honor among thieves anymore. I think it's a fantasy that any convict cares what the next guy in a cell did, unless it's their own family. Society doesn't care about SA. And even if there's if there's other chomos in there, they're still going to take advantage of anything they can. You best believe that guy right there doesn't have loyalty to anyone, including himself. If those people don't even respect themselves, guys, they're sure not going to respect anybody else. I'll tell you that. All right. All right. So, somebody sent me, and I'm so glad that they corrected me. I'm not going to say who sent it, but I'm going to show you that. I want to show you the Madeline Soto memorial, and then we'll talk. Somebody just drove past it. The lock post and some ribbons and gifts have not been touched. Maybe someone thought the stuffies were still there, didn't know, but it's been sized down a bit, and I want you to see what it looks like. All right. So let me, all right, let's finish this up. All right. He is still having to go to court for charges. No, there's no charges left. They did not charge Stephan Sterns for filming under the door. They did not go and charge Stephan for 35,000 images with other children on them. They didn't charge for any of that. It was the straight up Maddie capital M charge that got dropped to life in prison. Not dropped, but you know what I'm saying. And then all of the SA charges. All right, let's keep going.
Stephan Sterns has gotten in trouble because he's been letting another inmate use his PIN number for the phone to make phone calls. Guess who that inmate was?
Oh, and that's what I was going to say. So that was, you guys know about that. When people were talking about Stephan being extorted, he wasn't extorted at all. Trust me, he would have told his mom. I asked him straight up, are you being extorted? And he's like, no, not at all. The guy across from him also has a bunch of mental problems and all tatted up. This guy right here. And so they did a trade for a trade, but he wasn't being extorted yet. It's going to be much different where he's going. All right. So yeah, this is the guy here. He wasn't actually being extorted. I wanted to know that too. That was one of the first questions I asked him. All right. So yeah, that was one of the first questions I asked him was, what the heck? And he's like, nah, that didn't happen. But it's always fun to think about that, right? Okay. And again, please be respectful. People coming in, rolling in at the last hour and a half and then being upset about who's in chat. Come on, guys. Come on. I'm also I am also watching the chat. So come on, man. All right, let's go.
He is a registered STG, which stands for Security Threat Group in the prison system computer, blood member.
They wasn't,
he is a registered, confirmed, verified blood member.
It wasn't protection.
Why do you think he's giving away his PIN number? You were told specifically when you first get there, do not give away your PIN.
No, he gave his PIN number away because he was freaking bored to death, and that's what the problem's going to be. The problem is going to be, it's like Jeffrey Dahmer. Listen up, folks. Jeffrey Dahmer got his life taken by his choice. Now, not necessarily, but his actions that happened here. Okay, Jeffrey Dahmer literally told the guards and anybody he could talk to, I'm bored. I'm bored and I want to be in General Pop so I can eat with the guys and I can have friends and blah, blah, blah. Well, that was his mistake. The moment he got out there and started mingling with people, the guy that took his life, I can't remember his name, Christopher something or other. Foxy, you probably know. I should know the guy that took his life. He couldn't stand seeing Dahmer's face, knowing what Dahmer did to people of his community. It was a black man that took his life, and he kept reading different articles about what Jeffrey Dahmer did to that community. That's what got him, was boredom. And the boredom led to him thinking that people wanted to talk to him and that he was cool because just because the media wanted to focus on Dahmer didn't mean the inmates did. So I have a feeling that's what's going to happen. Yes, it was a colored man, Louise. It was. And that he was more pissed because Dahmer targeted that community. And I think he targeted the community because he liked his physical attraction was to black men. Or I don't think he did it because he was racist, but boredom is the big thing in prison and jail. That's what gets you in trouble, is boredom. And that's what was happening here. He wanted friends. He was bored. And hey, I can give this guy the pin, no problem. All right, DA got his conviction. Jen Sodto will never face justice until judgment day of the Lord. We'll see. All right.
And number to anybody. Because if you do, you'll get in trouble.
Yes.
Who knows
Was
what
it
else?
Chris Garver?
Stephan was on the phone. If you heard the phone calls that we covered with his parents asking for money,
Yeah.
snacks. I want food.
Well, here's the thing, guys. He doesn't realize that. Remember, I was chatting with him in the very beginning when he was talking to Jessica. Okay, you guys know about that. You remember Jessica? And I literally told Stephan, don't talk to this Jessica girl. I'm telling you right now, she's messaging you just for content on YouTube. And not that I care, but here's the thing is Jessica went to Sterns and bashed me and said, Jay's a grifter, Jay's an idiot, Jay's awful, don't talk to Jay. She literally went to Stephan and said that, and she played him. And I told him what she was doing, and he still was like, yeah, I know better. So right there, guys, right there. Just saying, that could have turned out worse. That could have turned out way worse. Yes, idle hands. Absolutely. Yeah, you guys, I'm not going to talk about who Jessica is, but it's another, I'm just going to tell you, it's supposed to be a pen pal. She approached Stephan and said, I want to get to know you. I'm a journalist. But before I talk about my journalism, let me bash Jay from Guilty of Crime. So I told him what I thought of her. Anyway, he kept talking crap. All the messages came out. That's what's going to happen in prison. If he doesn't wisen up to the fact that people are not going to be nice or friendly or want anything from him but information about the case, then he's got a rude awakening. He's got a rude awakening, all right? Just because allegedly unimportant. All right, let's keep going. You like who? I'm not saying I don't like anybody or not. I'm not even talking about anybody except the fake Jessica that bashed me. All right. But anybody else, we're not going to, I don't care.
You think he was eating all that? I guarantee you half of that was going to this blood. And probably a few other being dispersed between a few bloods in that cell block.
And that's what's going to happen all the time. It's going to be deceptive.
Type of thing carries over to prison. See, once he goes to prison, the bloods already have their hands on him. And so that blood, or whoever's in charge of that with the county jail, all they do is make a quick call to the outside. Hey, talk to their people who are free, who are affiliated, and say, get in touch with this blood who is in Florida State Prison and let him know Stephan is coming down.
So somebody didn't know what a blood was. Those are gang members, folks. They've got bloods, they've got Crips, and then they've got other ones in between that still do red or blue, but they're the Latin Kings, MS-13, whatever. All right. So that's what's going to happen in prison. He's going to be befriended by somebody that realizes who he is and realizes that he gets regular commissary, and that's what's going to happen. So hopefully he wisens up to the fact that it's going to be a lot of people coming at him with really bad intentions. Yeah, blood and Crips. All right. Vice lords. Yeah, we could go on and on and on. None of those people are going to have good intentions. Period.
Down there. And so whatever yard he arrives at, you need to get on your contraband cell phone and call your blood gang connection at the corresponding prison yard that Stephan arrives at.
Yes, happy Friday.
And let them know, hey, he already belongs to us. He's already locked into a deal with us for life. He's got to pay us this amount. You can raise it if you want to, but he's already paying us this amount every week or every month or whatever they have worked out.
Thank you, Cat's Meow, by the way.
That continues. That doesn't just go away because you left. That's for life. If you're in prison for life, you're extorted for life. Now, Stephan, you got these bloods rubbing their hands. Can't wait to get some of this money. Now he's playing games. He's trying to stay isolated. And I bet you he doesn't realize
you guys are crazy.
You can't do that forever. How would he know? He's never been to prison.
He's going to get bored. He's going to get bored.
That's like Ronald McDonald's ball pit compared to actual prison.
Of course he will.
He thinks he's going to bounce around and stay by himself for the rest of his life. He is eventually going to land on a yard, and the bloods are going to be pissed, and will have been pissed for a long time because you owe us a lot of money that we have been expecting, and you haven't been giving us because you've been playing these little patty cake games and these little, hopscotch, skip to my loo, this prison, that prison, here, there. games instead of coming in the general population wherever you're initially sent to and finding the blood, the source, the high rank of the blood's there, and being like, hey, I'm Stephan, I'm the guy who I already have a contract, I pay this amount this often, and
well, nobody's gonna protect anyone for a long period of time, so he's technically probably being protected. But once he goes into prison, just like everybody else, nobody special. Once you go in, except for maybe Diddy, right? Diddy's got a ton of money. Everybody knows it. And he might be extorted at some point, but you just can't trust anybody. And they get bored. He's used to roaming. He will get bored. I gave that same information to my nephew that went in and started getting buddy with people. Luckily, he wasn't in a maximum security or anything. He was 18 when he got arrested, so he was in a pretty laxed area. But I told him the same thing. All right, do not get friendly with people because they don't have good intentions. Why do you call a potato? What do you call a potato with glasses? Tell us. All right, we're about to call in, guys.
And in exchange, you don't let anything happen to me. They're gonna be mad.
Yep. They can start taxing him now, guys. They can.
They're either gonna get him or they're gonna say, you know what? We're gonna there's some other people who would love to get you, and we're just gonna let them do it, and we're not gonna stop them because you owe us too much money. See, Stephan, he would have been okay if he would have just went into general population, played by the prison rules, and kept continuing to pay that price.
Kathleen?
Because yes, he's not a millionaire. You don't have to be a millionaire to pay for protection in prison. These guys are hungry. If you, like Pino said on his YouTube channel video, if you got 20 to 50 to 70.
Hello, Marv from Beyond the Evidence, and everybody else, go check out at Beyond the Evidence 1. Her handle's right there. Her channel's Beyond the Evidence. Her name's Marv. Go check out her channel. Go subscribe to her channel. I worked with her in the very beginning of when I don't mean work. I didn't work with you. I collabed with Marv, and she showed me the ropes through a lot of this stuff. So shout out to you, Marv, for being such an awesome, amazing person. Thank you. I got to give her a lot of credit for helping me walk through how to be a YouTube creator. So thank you, my friend. I will always be indebted to you in my own mind because I appreciate what you did. All right. And Jammy, I don't know how to say that. Jammy doll. Woohoo. We're about to have call-ins, guys. Yeah, say hello to Marv. $80 a week for life turns into a lot of money. I'll be doing a lot of stuff. There you go. So she's going to be doing a lot of stuff. She is one of the creators that really cares about the victims. She makes sure her chat is respectful. She doesn't deal with any of that either. You can't go in there and bash people because you'll have to be taken out. We want to have our place as safe as we can. All opinions are respected, but no threats and no cussing at people unless it's the people that committed the crimes. All right. Nobody deserves to be threatened about anything. Nobody except for the people that did the crimes. All right. I don't like going into chats where people start coming at me. It's not fun and it's not safe. All right. Love you too, girl. So yeah, go Beyond the Evidence 1. If you guys can drop her link and chat, I'd love everybody to go over there. She cares about the victims as much as I do, and that's why I found that kinship with her. Julie says, I'll have to say goodbye to everyone. It's now early hours in the morning in UK. Be safe, everyone. Thank you, Jay. Yours lovely and as ever, fantastic channel. Thanks again, sis. Thank you. Good night. I love my Australia people. Everybody's saying bye, Julie. Good night. Good night. Good night. All right, let's keep going.
$30 a week. That's more than enough to feed the most powerful, dominant, influential blood member of any cell block that you're in.
Yep.
That's all it takes. You don't gotta have $100,000 a month to get protected. No, you just have to meet their needs. And their needs.
So anybody that comes here, if you guys ever want to know who's on my channel, you just go to my description. But otherwise, this is Jumpsuit Pablo. If you guys can drop a link again at Jumpsuit Pablo, also in the description. All right. Jumpsuit Pablo right there. Just put at Jumpsuit Pablo and all the links are in my description. All right, let's keep going. Did I miss something here? 14. Oh, shoot. I missed that. Sharon, 14 months. Dang. Jay, did you get the Venmo for the membership? And it doesn't look like 14 months have passed. I love this channel and I love the mods in chat. I did not get it, but I'm sure I will get it right now. So let me give some memberships then. Thank you. Everybody thank Sharon. I'm about to give some memberships for you guys. All right. Hopefully Faith and Repentance gets one. She deserves it. She deserves it. All right. Finish. I'll get gift memberships right now, and then I'll open the phone lines.
Needs are not much more than, a couple cigarettes and a couple honey buns, Snicker bars, and a pack of ramen noodle soups every week. And they're happy as a clam. And Stephan's parents absolutely would have kept giving him that amount of money in order for him to be safe, because we know his parents still stand by him 100%. His own mother told Stephan, it's not your fault that you have these urges and desires for children. It is Jesus, I quote, it is Jesus and God's fault for creating you that way.
I don't remember that being said. Wow. I'm not going to take that away, JSP. I don't remember that being said, but I'd love to see that. Of course you're not chopped liver. I didn't even realize you weren't in green. Raka, what's up, Miss Trish? All right, let me give some memberships right now. What did you? I don't remember that saying at all. Maybe it was. I don't remember that either. I'd have been like, no, I don't. What? Yeah, I don't remember that at all. That's crazy. I remember something about Maddie's better off with Jesus or something like that because her life was bad. The phone calls have been coming out lately and people have been analyzing them, and I'm staying away from that because I don't even want to talk about that. We're not going to go over that. But if she said that, then hey.
Can you believe that?
No, I don't believe it. I don't even believe it now. I'm like, what?
So, this mother, she's just going to keep giving him money. And he would have been okay, but he's screwed up now. So I guarantee you, once he gets put in general population, once his little game hits a wall and they cut the crap with him, it's over for Stephan Sterns. And we are going to see a very heartwarming headline about something involving Stephan Sterns in prison. That's the update I got for you. Hope you enjoyed it. Other than that, I will see you next time.
All right. Let me stop this and get it off my. Did you guys get the gifted memberships? Turn this on and bam. All right, guys. We have 430 people still in chat. We're an hour and 41 minutes in, and I'm taking phone calls. Dark Wizard, you missed the entire live, but we're going to have phone calls right now. So the lines are open. I'm going to put it up there. Let me find my 408-538-1516. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Just the phone call screen, not the numbers. Bam. Bam. There it is. All right, guys. You missed the show, but come on, take a look at this. Must have been Maddie's fault with her devil. Okay. Listen, guys, 408-538-1516. And no, you're not chopped liver, Chief Raka. He said quote like it's verbatim. That's false. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't remember that quote at all. And shout out to Glenda. Hello. Yeah, glad to catch you live. All right, you guys have had a lot to say. 408 Stumpy Great. You guys have had a lot to say this whole episode. If you don't want to call in, then I'm okay with that. I'll go get something to eat, chill out. But you guys usually love call in. So let me know if you're going to call in. Anybody want to call in and talk about what happened tonight, what happened in chat, what you're thinking, what's next? Should Jen Sodto be arrested? 408. Wait, what did I get? Say 408-538-1516. All right. Sometimes the lives it's not caught up with yet. All right. Bummer. The synth ray will be. All right. So let me know, guys. 408-538-1516. Meander on over and call, or just go call. Meander, go fast. Don't go fast. All right. All right. Nobody wants to call in. Mr. Raka. Great room. Love the call-in. Yeah, I do too. I love the call-ins too, but all right, let me why am I holding
call
it?
From? It's your favorite mod.
Oh my goodness. You got lucky. You got lucky because 2 calls came in at once. All right, what's up, Synth?
Oh, that's awesome. Hello, everyone. Hi.
Hey, the fabulous Synth. What's up?
I wanted to say I do recall it being in one of the long prison transcripts that I did for you, but I don't have access to any of that information because I gave it all back to you when I had left.
Right.
But I do recall I had made an Excel spreadsheet, and it had the different people and the different recordings.
Right.
And it was kind of, it was a quick thing, and she said it. And of course, this is at a time very early on. I think these were the June or maybe even earlier calls.
Right.
Maybe the one like that first set of calls before the big batch of June ones or something. But I do remember transcribing, and that came out, and I was like, but again, this is what got me in trouble on AS, because I was talking about them and the Catholic background and how that's perceived and perceptions of you and how your children reflect on you. And that's when I said retarded, and they got up and out of shape, yada, yada.
Right.
But that's what one of the points I was trying to say is, they didn't know a lot. And so they're coming from a place of not knowing, and they're already just probably so bombarded that they're just like, what?
Right.
Like,
And
you have a kid and maybe they're kind of bad, but you never, ever think your kid will do this.
Right.
Especially to another human.
Right. Nobody does. And yeah, you did transcribe a ton of stuff. I don't even have that, but let's not talk about why. I didn't own that document originally.
But that's where those were. And I do remember doing them. If I ever got them again, I could do it again. But I do remember that I did that was a little weird, quirky thing. And I was like, well, yeah, again, coming from their background, that's a belief.
Right.
And at the time, they didn't have all this full information. I think at that time, it was maybe even before they knew about all of the photos that I think it was Detective Morris was telling Chris about, that it was 30K of them and none of them had Jen on them. And they were like so surprised. But those were the ones that were the non-Maddie CSAM. So she wouldn't have been involved in those.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you. And I'm sure, Jumpsuit Pablo is credible. We've been covering this case for
so much.
a year and a half. And me, my memory is, unless I'm looking at something, I'm like, wait, I ask you the same thing. So thank you for clarifying.
Exactly. So everybody has to understand it's not like the commandments in damn stone, and even God changed those because Moses threw the first set down, and we got the second commandment. Well, otherwise, we wouldn't be able to be eating goats and their milk. And nobody's doing that, so we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. We're not going to get into any of the religious stuff, but I hear you. And Marv said it properly. Nobody did that. No, God doesn't do that. It was the devil. Anything. And I mean, you know what I'm saying. It's the evil.
Well, okay, number one, again, he was a fallen angel. He was the most wonderful angel. He was the most beautiful angel. Lucifer means the light. He was so beautiful and glorious.
Right. And you can put it in your way. I mean, we all have different opinions.
We all have danced with the devil in the pale moonlight. Man, I swear to God, I was, I dated a couple of Lucifers, and we all have, right?
Right. Yeah. Well,
so we just have to come at it where we know now. And if not, hey, go back and watch all your wonderful videos. You have like thousands of them, don't you, by now?
Oh, yeah. I just hit 1,500 videos. So, yeah, I do. Foxy said Jay has the goldfish memory.
Oh, gosh. Oh, you're Dory.
She said,
poor Dory.
I don't know. But all right, guys. All right. So let's, you're still here talking about
to everybody.
Yes.
Love, be open. We all are changing. Shit I thought I knew yesterday, I have found out is not the same today. And that's okay, because you grow.
And regardless, everybody has their opinions. Everybody has, it's just, there's a lot of things that happen. I'm not justifying a damn thing. We're just discussing.
No.
So that's why anybody that wants to call in and talk about what we saw tonight, do you think that Jen's going to be arrested? She was on the witness, whatever's got your
I think they're building something. I think they're building something. I really do. And I think unfortunately, they're getting kind of waylaid and distracted because they are finding all these, like if you go, Sheriff Grady is finding so many different cases. I mean, they just did like $1 billion identity fraud thing. They just did, what was it, the 60 kids they saved. So they're finding so many of these guys, these chomos. And I think a lot of that is is because of that source. Let's be honest. So, hey.
Now,
all right. Well, Wyatt better hurry up and call in because we want to hear Wyatt and we want to hear Chief.
Yeah, we're going to have some people call him. But just before you go, let me clarify this. Let me clarify something. My memory is not good unless I'm looking at the thing again. Deb says, I never said that. Never. You cannot quote that. So if somebody has that I see Jen's a gypsy saying we're not going to do it on Tonight's Show. But I'm not going to argue. We're not going to argue about it. We're just going to say she's saying,
if I can go back and find it on Plunder or maybe just Sella or something, they might have it on their, what do they have their things they always keep their Patreon? I don't go on there, but maybe if they have it on that, I could go back and listen on those and find it.
Right. Well, people take things out of context. So if I say we're looking for Jen Sodto, I have people that spotted her. They translate that as Jay and guilty of crime is out there stalking Jen, and they're gonna. So I think things are taken out of context, and we're gonna move forward from that until we find out what really happened.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So let's let the next caller come in. Okay. All right.
Sounds great.
All right. Thank you, Cint. Does anyone else want to call in?
I hope I didn't upset anybody. I say everything in love. Also, I've been in 10 car accident and have TBI. So,
you're all good.
Forget.
Hey, I forgive you. Every day I have to say, it's Synth. It's Synth. No, she gets a pass. It's Synth.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Now, Michelle, why don't you call in? Because that is not what Jumpsuit Pablo said. Now, if she said, I don't know why God made you this way, you just said something different than what Pablo said. So call in. Call in, guys. Call in. 408-538-1516. That's 3 different things I just heard right now. I don't like being taken out of context. I don't like when I say something and someone paraphrases it as something I didn't say. So I understand that, but call in. And if you guys have questions, Deb's right here. She'll answer. Now, she's already been attacked like 3 times in chat. I think I lost a few people in chat because they're not happy. But let me know. We're
call from
Chief Rocka.
All right, there's our guy, Chief Rocka. How you doing, my friend? My boyfriend, guilty of crime boyfriend. It's Rocka. And Wyatt, you can call in after if you want. What you got?
I don't know, but going back to what you're saying about him admitting that he was getting extorted or not,
right?
I don't think he would admit it, whether it was on the phone or through email or whatever.
Well, the only reason
everything's monitored,
right?
And that'd be a trigger word for them,
right?
To open up an investigation, and that could probably put him in more harm's way than.
Now, let me just tell you real quick what I know. So again, it's all it's all opinion, because you guys see something different than I see, right? I have stuff that I can't say to you and things that just can't be out there yet. So my only thing is that I really do think that he would say that to his parents because he would want to get that extra money. I think he would tell his mom and dad, hey man, this guy across is extorting me. I need some extra money. And then they would say, that's the only thing. And so he told his parents that. And again, maybe he's making himself look good because do I believe him?
On the other hand,
he said he gave him the pin so he could talk to his pregnant girlfriend. But I think he only did that because he was bored and he was getting tired of being by himself and not talking to anyone. And this guy comes in, the guy you saw on the screen earlier, comes in and is making friends with Stephan, and he knows Stephan's getting money from his parents at commissary, and this guy's not. So I don't know to what extent, but I think he would tell mom and dad, I need more money because the guy.
Yeah, but what if he did and
there's
all right, so we're feeding other inmates with your commissary, so
right, agreed. Both sides.
We're not gonna send you that money,
right?
And,
now I agree. That's why we're having this conversation right now, because like I said, I can't always say everything, but I can say things from my perspective, and it's all you're right. You could be right as well. All right. Absolutely, so I appreciate you calling. Yeah, everybody, and you're being respectful. You're not saying, hey, listen, Jay, blah, blah, blah.
No, that's not my MO.
No.
You know me.
I do. And that's why we love the crime crew here, because we literally can respect each other. And if we get upset, we just walk away and come back. We don't need to rage quit. I don't like this. I'm done. I would have rage quit like 10 times already.
I did want to recommend another channel if you want to get perspective of other inmates and law enforcement. Is Ian Bick's channel. I don't know if you know who Ian Bick is.
You say Ian Deck?
Bick.
Ian Bick. Is that his channel?
Yes. He was the one from Connecticut that got arrested for fraud with the clubs when he was 19 years old.
Okay, yeah. I see it. Of his channel's called, or host of Locked In, and he's got 403,000 subscribers and stories of former inmates. All right, I just subscribed to him, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, check him out, because he also he's interviewed ex-police officers, ex-SWAT, military, judges, lawyers, so you can get a grip on all perspectives off of his channel.
Okay.
So you can understand the law side of stuff, and not only that, what the inmates go through and what they've been through.
Okay.
Quite interesting.
Right. No, I love shows like that. Like I said, I just subscribed and I dropped the link in chat. I mean, the more we know, the better, right? The more we know, the better. So someone's asking about Judge Grady. Judge Grady has been there. Someone's asking, why are they asking that? Is Grady Judd the sheriff? Does anyone know? I just looked up Grady Judd. Is he still there?
Yeah.
I didn't see anything that happened to him. He should be there.
I don't know what they would be talking about.
I don't either, because it says here Florida Senate President Ben Outwritten appointed Polk County Sheriff Grady and Pinellas County Sheriff Bob to the council. So I would assume so. He didn't get in any trouble for anything, guys. So yes.
I know they're tough. Those are tough sheriffs in Florida.
Right. Yeah, he's still there. He didn't get in trouble like the other guys did.
He reminds me of the sheriff here from Delphi.
Right. Yeah.
With the Delphi case. And, he's pretty stern in the way he was talking when at that public hearing or whatever it was, and he was talking, we know that you could possibly be in this room and this and that.
Right.
So they're very up on their game.
Right. So, all right, I have other callers that keep trying to get in, but I'm going to ask them respectfully. If you're going to call in, please be respectful. If you're going to be heated about something, be heated, but not towards people. Don't talk about, we talk about the case, but I see some people that are just dialing, and they already came in chat and were upset. So maybe it's not so good to call when you're upset, guys.
And then,
anyway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then the last thing is, as far as the Tennessee thing goes with Drummond.
Oh man, go ahead. Say that because I was thinking about Devil's Den. Go ahead.
Internal affairs.
Yeah.
Nobody has to answer for why he was released now.
Okay, right.
They won't even investigate it.
Yeah, you're talking about the guy that just did the quadruple homicide, right? Now, I'm not really sure why. I mean, he got out. He did all of his time. So what do you mean by that?
Well, no, but he had other assault and attempted murder.
Oh, yeah.
He was bonded out on it.
Right.
Why was he ever bonded out?
He wasn't.
With those charges
he didn't
already incarcerated.
He didn't get bonded out. He tried to. I don't think he got bonded out. They denied it. And I read that he served every day of his sentence.
Yeah, but remember, I don't know.
But you got to.
I kind of heard both ways.
No, I'm covering the case and it read that. I even read it on here that showed them denying his bond and that he did every day of his sentence. But here's the thing. He was 16 when he committed the crime. 17 when he got in there. They charged him as an adult. There's only so long that you can put someone in there for those charges. So I'm not trying to give them a pass. I'm just saying. Anyway, yeah, let's get back to the Madeline Soto case. Otherwise, we'll be here all day. Thank you, Chief. I appreciate you.
Have a good night.
You too. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. We're going to
Call from.
Oscar.
Are you still there, Nanoska? I think she hung up. Yep, she hung up. Nanoska you called in like I probably got like maybe 5 or 6 calls from you if you want to try back. If not, does anyone else want to call in and talk about this? I see chat going wild. All right, guys, 408-538-1516. I saw on YouTube they're going after the PPP loans. Maybe JS and her mother will get caught. Anybody that will be great. All right, we got
from
Ninoska.
All right, we got Ninaska on the phone. How you doing? Are you okay
I'm
now?
Good. I'm
Are
good.
you good? Okay. All right, what you got?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Since Ninaska, be good.
Yeah, apparently I got put in timeout. I'm not sure what I said, but I don't regret it.
That's all good.
The comment that everybody is disputing, it was in one of the more recent batches of calls that were released.
Okay.
However, I believe they were recorded earlier on.
Right.
And what Deb said was, I don't understand why God would put these desires in you, referring to,
right.
him
Right.
being
So
a freak.
Right.
So it wasn't like that God made him that way. It's that God put these desires in him. So completely absolving him of any responsibility because, we don't have free will and we don't get to choose the difference between right and wrong.
And I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, this is the third different quote that I heard, and I believe what you're saying. I'm sure you've listened.
No, it was that because I have it right in front of me actually.
Okay,
it was word for word. I don't understand why God would put these desires in you.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Thank you for clarifying.
And then don't agree. I agree with you. He followed it up with something to the effect about how he doesn't even like children. So he was just as confused about.
Thank you so much for clarifying that because it's not really the same difference only because I hate when people take out of context what I say. And I really wanted someone to clarify that because it's much different. What you said it's not the same as what he said. So thank you. I appreciate that.
But
still, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. And feel free to ask a question while you're here. She's on the phone with me. I can ask her. If you have a question that's not, really just a bashing question, feel free to ask and I'll try to get it answered.
I honestly don't feel that any of my questions were bashing questions. They were legitimately.
I didn't even know you were asking questions. What question did you ask? Let's talk about it now.
Well, it wasn't in regards to the past. Well, first of all, I was shocked to see her username in the chat.
That's because YouTube.
So that was
YouTube doesn't let you hide your name anymore unless you completely change your handle. And I told her that, but she said, "Hey, I'm going to be out there. I'm going to be out there." So there it is.
Okay. I just don't understand why she would want to put herself through that, knowing that. Whoever supports her has something wrong with them. So I don't understand why she would even want to put herself through that. But I guess I have a whole list of questions, but my the biggest one would be knowing now everything, what would she do differently as a mother?
That's a
if
great
she were
question.
able to go back to one particular pivotal moment in time, what would she do differently? And in terms of I was just curious about more history in terms of the older brother. Is that
I don't believe that's her son. I believe that's Chris's son. So did she have something to do with the older brother leaving the home? And then,
so
like,
that one,
I'll
answer that one while she's getting back to me on that one. She doesn't want to bring the older brother in at all. He's a lot older than Stephan, so they didn't really grow up with each other, and he doesn't want anything to do with this case at all. Like,
no, exactly.
Yeah,
and
so
that's just it, is that when he left home, Stephan was at an age that he was still a child. So he wasn't who he is now and what he is now.
Right.
So the only reason the older brother would have left home would have been because of the interaction he was having with the adults in the home. So that would be the parents.
Right.
So how much of a role did she have in that? And then I guess, now that Stephan is in jail, is she interested in reconciling with this? I mean, I don't know if it's her other child, or is that her stepchild, or, is Chris interested in reconciling with him?
They don't have anything to reconcile. From my understanding, there's nothing to reconcile. He moved and he's like out of the country in the military or something like that. So that's
sad.
Yeah, there's no reconciling, but you know how children grow up and they move out, and my son's 25 and there's nothing wrong, but he only calls us when he has girl problems or needs money. And we're real close to him. He lives right down the street. So, I mean, kids grow up and they move on. But
no, yeah, of course, I understand.
But yes, as far as with Stephan,
I'm sure the circumstances of your son moving out were different.
Oh, it's
than
way
the circumstances.
different.
Because even in one of those phone calls, Stephan himself says, well, we know why he left. So there's a story there.
Right. I'm sure there is. And I asked her, and she said she didn't want to bring her other son in to any of this. So that I'll respect.
Okay.
As far as something she would do, now she said she absolutely would have got him into counseling or therapy. And in her interactions with me, she does recognize that there's some effed up things about Stephan that she recognized but couldn't do anything. That's why she told Stephan and Maddie and Jen she's too old to be sleeping in the room. It looks bad. It's not right. They didn't listen. Now, did she find that torso?
No, I'm talking before that. Like, is the reason she pulled him out of school because the school brought something to their attention? Like, there's something wrong with this boy.
No.
Like, there's something not quite right with him, and that's why she decided to homeschool him. Did they move states because Child Protective Services got involved? Was there an incident with a little girl in the bathroom? Because, like, I've been reading around some stuff, and there's I mean, I don't know how much of it is true and not, but like there were indications.
Right.
There were a lot of indications that are very like, we need to talk about Kevin kind of indications. Right. And I'm just curious, like how much insight she has into her contribution to all of this. And I guess my final question is, has she offered her condolences to Madeline's family? They did lose a child.
Yeah, they don't want anything to do with her or Stephan or anything. Nobody does want anything. I think her offering to condolences and try to make things right with herself has been.
Not make things right. Just do the right thing and offer condolences. Because
she's definitely offered. Yeah, she definitely has. I don't think she's reached out directly to them because they probably laugh at her. But
right, and rightfully so.
Right,
and that's okay.
Right.
But at least she would have done her part, and at least she would have that peace of mind that, yeah, I know my son did this and destroyed a complete other human being and an entire family. Right. Regardless of how she was being raised, because the only thing I've heard from her on these phone calls are just continuously bashing, the victim's family.
Of course, yeah. So that's a lot.
It sort of gives me an insight.
Yeah, that's a lot. There's a lot of questions that I don't know that we can. I mean, she's talked to me about a lot of things, and I wouldn't have even continued talking to her had I thought that she saw signs of him being a pedo and doing something with a cousin, and they pulled him. None of that happened. he does have a TBI, but I don't know if that's relevant to anything or if it's just to kind of justify why he does what, why he's quiet and weird. But I don't think that, I think some of the blame is
There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that mothers will do for their children, and going blind is one of them. So
of course,
I don't blame her. I don't blame her for doing what she believes she's doing to be a good mother. I will never blame her for that. I don't blame her for trying to protect him and cover and whatever. Like if it was my son, I would even try to take the blame for him because it's just instinctive. But I think that there reaches a point where, like, she's the one that brought up religion. She's the one that brought up the Bible.
She did.
So when you bring these things up, like, you're going to be like, you don't get to pick and choose when it's convenient to bring it up. So if she really believes in these things, there are specific things that are clearly stated in the Bible that are her responsibility.
Right.
And
well, first of all, I think we're putting way too much blame on her solely with what happened. I can tell you, I wouldn't even have talked to her or tried to understand her as a mother if she didn't already answer a lot of these questions for me about what happened, who she was. And now she just said, let me just real quick, her son left for the military, period. Him and Chris are very close. Nothing happened. He just doesn't want to be associated with a nasty chomo that took someone's life. So I think that these questions are relevant. Absolutely. But it's kind of, there's a lot in there of making assumptions that she did.
But the nasty chomo has only been in the past 2 years.
Yeah, but
he wasn't a nasty chomo before that.
But listen, he was with Jen Sodto. So we're putting a lot of blame on a mom that only saw him in and out, lock his door. She didn't know he was jacking off to a torso or any. So I just feel like there's a lot of
it though. Like that right there, that in itself deserves like atonement. Like, you have an adult son that you have coddled and infantilized.
Again, Again, that's a lot of blame on her. We have 2 moms and we've coddled the shit out of our son that has no kind of anything.
Not to the point of crippling them. Like, I understand babying your child, absolutely, but not to the point of crippling them and then creating that, contributing to the creation of that, of what he is.
Right.
And she did contribute.
I definitely respect your opinion, and a lot of people agree with that. I'll just agree with part of it. Absolutely. She's his mother. There's a lot of times that it sounds like she's justifying in her mind to him, like, hey, with that comment about God didn't, or whatever. I don't even know. Tell me what she said again.
God, I don't understand why God put these desires in you.
Right.
I don't understand.
So from that and knowing
and I don't even like kids. I didn't even like kids.
Oh, that's what he's told me many times too. I asked him about Maddie and he said, I never had any other, but that's what I'm saying. Like, he lies and lies. And think about this. Think about your child being away from you for the last 6-7 years, only coming home when you're on a down slump, and they weren't even around him or Maddie or any of them for the last 6-7 years. They only saw her maybe a couple of handfuls of times. So I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying, like, how do you control that? If there were no indications of him being a chomo as growing up,
I don't believe that there were no indications. That's where I believe that she is lying to protect her child.
Right. And
I don't believe that there were no indications.
Yeah.
I believe a mother, you know what you're raising, and when you get in bed with a man every night, the husband, like, your husband, the man you sleep beside, the child you raised. Know him.
I gotta say though, I gotta disagree with you a little bit, because he might have mommy issues and he might have been enabled and all kinds of stuff, but I just don't see how that equates to her knowing that he wanted to do bad things to these little kids if nothing ever showed up. I I could just say I'll agree to disagree with you partially, because it sounds like we're putting a lot on her. What about Stephan? What about Jen? It was them that
I think the tone of all comments would be very different had justice been served and he had gotten the death penalty, which is exactly what he deserved.
Right. And people are mad. People are blaming Tyler right now. People are saying Tyler's a awful dad.
I mean,
you can't. I'm not going to agree.
I'm not going to say he was an awful dad, because you have to be present to be an awful dad.
He wasn't.
You have to actually be there.
He wasn't present because he still doesn't have any money, and I don't know why people don't see that. Jen Sodto, she lawyered up with her mom's money, and that's what moved him out of Florida in the first place. So, but he could get a small part. He should have stepped in and said she's coming to live with me. How did he know too? I don't know. I can't place the blame on other people.
You build a relationship. You build communication.
Yeah.
Like you can do it from a distance. And if there was a strong bond and a strong relationship, you can still do that even from a distance. And that would have allowed Madeline to confide in him a lot sooner. Because think of the amount of time that all of this had been going on for. And how well nobody knew anything. Nobody.
Well, so then
nobody.
Why would Deb, that was 2 hours away for the last 7 years, why would the blame be placed so harshly on her when she's saying, I mean, you can say she's lying. Anybody could say she's lying.
Because she takes no humility right now.
Well,
if she were to humble herself and say,
what?
You know what? Yeah. I mean, stop bashing the victim's family, for one.
But you're talking about a year ago to a year and a half ago. That is not
now. Like, she still defends, like, it's just like, just bow out. Get out of the limelight. Your time is done. Get out. Like, just stop. Because she's starting to remind me of these Jack and Lily people. And the uncle who's going around telling stories, just like doing all the YouTube rounds. She reminds me of that Columbine killer, the mother.
All right, we'll do.
Made a career.
Last comment here. This will be a last caller. Okay, so I agree with you to an extent, but I also can't tell you everything that we've talked about. And if people know my morals and where I lie, they would know, and my mods know that I wouldn't put up with the things that I think that you think of her, and that's fine. I'll take your opinion. I agree with that.
It's not what I think about her. It's what it's what we know so far.
But you guys don't. But Nanaska, I'm gonna respectfully say you don't know. You've only heard things from in the very beginning, and you've heard things, bits and pieces.
Yeah, and that was disgusting.
But
to be honest, that was
and I agree with you, but you can't say that everything you're saying is 100% right. There has to be a middle ground. So I respectfully,
the thing is that even her, like, she's a bit of a chameleon, because she put on quite an act. Because I remember specifically when at the very beginning, when the police came to tell her that he had made that drive up. Her reaction was, that son of a bitch was here, and oh my God, he could have, and then it's like,
all right,
she just changes faces. Okay, I'll let you go.
All right, thank you. Respectfully, thank you. All right, guys, the next call, guys. You too. I did not mean to click that. I was trying to. So respectfully, I think that was okay. I'm sorry, guys. I could see the mods in chat saying, and I didn't mean to press the button yet. There's another caller. Call in, please. Let's get somebody that has a middle ground perspective. Let's see if we can do that, right? Because it's tough here.
Call from
Sharon Belko.
There she is, my friend Sharon. Okay, let's have a little bit halfway, so we're not just on one side or the other. What do you got?
Hey, beautiful.
Hey, my Leo twin.
I'm listening to this last caller. We all have family members that are having a hard time getting to see their kids, right?
Right.
And women make it really difficult. So I think unless you've experienced that, you cannot put something so deep on her father.
Exactly. Thank you for, I appreciate that. And people only know the YouTube parts that they hear. There's
Absolutely.
no way. I can't even tell them half of the stuff I know because I'm not allowed to report on it.
Right. Right.
You guys know me as a person, and you know where my morals lie. You know where my boundaries are. You can see the kind of person I am, and I would never sit there and be talking, or even like talking to someone that we're talking about, right? Okay, so
right. I'm just, it's, and this poor man lost his daughter, and everybody can have their opinion, but until you've walked that mile, he got married, he had to do certain things to just live his own life, fighting against somebody who I'm sure made it so difficult.
He has mental problems himself. That's why he wasn't able to even talk. He's been in I just call it the military. I don't know if it was Air Force or whatever. And again, I'm not sticking up for him, but people want to place the blame on the wrong people. It's Stephan Sterns and Jen Sodto for the last 6 to 7 years.
Absolutely.
People go behind closed doors and they don't tell you what they do. They don't tell you what they do.
And everybody is looking to blame. There's got to be something to put your finger on.
And especially
something you could say,
Yep, especially because there's no trial. Now everybody's like, F Tyler, F Deb. There's got to be a happy medium, man.
And if there's not, there's got to be a healthy placement of your emotions, because when we lash out, it just takes that other person or whoever it may affect, down a different, just brings them down. Like, everybody's trying to advocate for Maddie and Jen Sodto. Karma is real.
Right.
Big fat sandwich. Karma is real.
Right.
Patience. But you shouldn't attack somebody else's character or what they could have, should have, would have done.
I know. I agree 100%. That's called being very, very, very judgmental, because you don't know. And the only reason I could even sit there and say that and have that conversation with her is because I have so many people around me that have gone to prison, that have done stuff, and I didn't know. Their parents didn't know. No, you know what I mean?
Right.
And yeah, there's things that Deb sounded pompous and just whatever in her sayings, pompous and shitty. But when you actually get to the root of what was being said or what's talking about, and put that wall down of just screw you, you're wrong, F you, that if you do this, you're wrong, you do that. Life isn't that simple.
We are all humans in training.
Yeah.
We are all learning something every day, and hopefully using it in a positive way. Seriously, this whole world has gone sideways, but your channel is respectful. I couldn't keep up with the chat. I'm getting, I'm slow to listen, folks. Domestic violence is real.
Yeah, I didn't want to say anything, but
slow to recover, right? But don't, unless you've walked in their shoes or even experienced that, you should not judge. Absolutely should not.
Right. And
Jay, I love you.
Thank you. I love you too. And much love to you, Sharon, for what you're going through. You going through a lot, and you didn't have any idea that anything, and I'm not going to say what, but you've been with somebody for years and years and years. And could you have predicted that? Yeah.
Never saw it coming.
Not in a million years. Absolutely.
But it took that for me to understand.
Right.
Hey, I got the eye of the tiger. I'm gonna be just fine.
You are. But could you imagine if someone said to you, Sharon, you did this and this for this many years. How the hell could you not know? And started pointing. You should have left him. You piece of trash. You should have. Could you imagine someone coming?
People say, "Why haven't you left him?"
Exactly.
Or like you stayed. You knew it's until you walked in those shoes.
And you don't want to walk in those shoes. Trust me.
Awful. No. And that's the only reason I'm saying anything, is because it forever altered my journey. So this case for this man, Tyler, his journey has been altered, and he didn't choose it.
No. And so I'm sure he's going to regret a lot.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But love and prayer and hope and faith go a long way, folks.
They do.
It really does.
And just be careful what you judge, because it will come back on you when you least expect the unexpected thing that you're like, damn, that crept up on me. But yes, I will
see it coming.
I'll agree. Deb came off as pompous and arrogant in the very beginning. And I think that's what we're all judging on that. And no one got to blame Stephan or Jen. We didn't get to see him in court. Now it's over, you know?
Right.
So
and we've been watching this on YouTube. We've been following it on YouTube.
Exactly.
We haven't seen this outside in the street in front of our faces. We are on social media.
Right.
Damn it, that in itself drives me bonkers. I can't go much far past you, Jay.
Right. Well, I appreciate you. I know they're hard talks sometimes and people need breaks too. So
nope, but it's that one channel that finds you and you find and what a blessing.
Right.
Just you alone talking and making differences. We should send more love to Tyler, because he is going to be hurting for the rest of his life.
Absolutely. And I just can't bring myself to putting blame on him, especially when I see that that one time that we heard anything from him and Jen was blocking Maddie. She didn't want Maddie to go there because she said someone was going to film under the door on the plane. Can you imagine how many other excuses she made over the time?
Right. And he probably didn't even see that for what it was.
No, of course not.
Together, and his mind's blown like, oh my God, he's doing the woulda, shoulda, coulda.
I think Tatiana, I think his wife was more aware of what was going on and still is than him, to be honest.
Right.
I think he's one of those men that got damaged at some point, go in the military, getting arrested for helping. We looked his background up. He was in trouble with the law. I think he got stuck at those times and it crippled him. And I say that knowing their dynamic.
Right.
But I'm not trying to give an excuse. He'll live with it, not us, right?
The only excuse, if you want to call it, is we're human.
Right.
He's only human. He did not predict that. Most men who just have weekend custody of their kids or once a month or whatever, take it for granted and take it as just that. Not even wanting to know what's going on in mom's house. And she didn't want to say anything. I know from experience, you just live. You just deal with your day.
Right.
It's just so normalized. So he didn't see it coming.
Right. No, absolutely not. But you see how broken they are. Could he have done something different? Yes. Did he? No. And we're all where we are. But we need to blame Jen Sodto and Stephan Sterns.
Right.
But yes.
There are not fathers to fight for their kids to have them more. I mean, my clown car full of kids, and I couldn't even imagine him not wanting to be there for them. But everybody's different. Everybody's different.
Right. And the only thing we could do is just not put more blame on people that don't. I mean, what about the roommates? We're going to start talking about the roommates now. They were there the whole time. They're there more than anybody else was there, right?
Yeah, I suspect some people that have those opinions that want to blame or whatever probably would have, gee, the color of your shirt ruined my day.
Exactly.
Oh,
girl, you tell me. Yeah, I know.
Right.
Remember, there's a whole thread about me.
It is what it is. And I do want to say hello to Foxy. I shared my guilty of crime keychain with my daughter's mother-in-law. I had no idea she was a guilty of crime fan.
Right.
So we kind of bonded over that this past week. It was kind of
that's
funny.
Awesome.
So
that's
small
awesome.
world.
Well, I appreciate you.
Let you go, and I love your channel because it's respectful.
Thank you.
Stay strong.
Well, yes, we don't want people to come here and say, oh, guilty of crime. Those people attacked me and they didn't even do anything. They just, we don't want to be like that. We're not those people. The moment something comes out of our mouth and we judge somebody, that same shit happens to us in a different form and even worse. So who are we to judge? I'm not.
Absolutely.
But
nope, I have a glass house. I live in a glass house.
Exactly. We all do, my friend. We all do.
Right.
But
Right.
thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love you. And yeah, message me. Thank you, Lady for Justice. Have a good night. Get some rest.
You too.
All
Thank
right.
you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Take care. All right, guys. I know Nettie wanted to call in. Let's take another call or two and then we'll dip out. We've been here for 2.5 hours. And whoa, this is a heated topic. 333. All right. And I know whatever I say tonight, too, is going to be taken out of context, right? Someone's going to leave the channel and be mad and say, you are supporting. Love the channel. And like, thank you. I appreciate that. Let me answer this.
Call from
Nettie.
There she is. Nettie. Hold on. Let's grab her. All right. Nettie, what do you got? I know you've been dying to call in.
Jay, I've been calling you nonstop, like a desperate girlfriend. Like, let me on the show right now.
Oh yeah. So, I haven't had any desperate girlfriends in the last 20 years, so I don't mind.
Okay.
What do you got?
So, what do I got? I just wanted to say,
thank you.
Like, I feel really sorry for Deb. You know, like, obviously that's not the path that she wanted for her son. You know,
no.
And another thing about Deb is that whenever all this was happening and Jen was, Jen, when she talked about Maddie on the news, all she ever talked about was bad things. She's forgetful. She's there.
Oh no, it hung up. No. She hung up. And this was going to be a good call because Nettie's been wanting to call in. Nettie, call right back. I did not hang up on you. No. Did you call from another line?
Summer.
Oh no, Nettie.
Press 1.
All right, let me cut. I'll take Summers and then call back. All right, Summer, where are you calling from? Hello? Oh, I guess not. Let me call. Let me see if I can get back. Nettie tried to call like a crazy girlfriend, so we need to see if we can get her back on the phone. Dang it. No. I don't know why it's not calling back. Let's see. Nope. Why is it not? All right, Nettie, where are you? All right. Yeah, no, it wasn't you, Nettie. Nettie.
Hello?
Nettie, is this the right number?
Oh yeah, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I know you took a long time to try to get through, so let's finish.
Okay, so that's all I wanted to say. That like I just feel bad for, I feel for Deb. Like I have compassion for her, and I mean, honestly, like Jen is the one who I'm just like, girl, like what were you doing? Well, like what? This was your child. Like
that's why
how are you so out of touch?
Because I think they had some kind of pack, and that's why Stephan dumped Maddie. Jen knew. I mean, we're gonna go over that next week in her statements, but we've listened to this over and over. We've heard it. We've analyzed it, and I absolutely believe that Jen knew. Her worst fear was the Woody Allen thing. Stephan's very clear about how much he loved Maddie and Maddie loved him. I think it was pretty open between all three of them, and she let him do that, and nobody could have stopped that except for Jen and Stephan and Maddie. Obviously Maddie could have said no more, and that might have happened that night.
I mean, I guess we'll never know.
Oh, we might. Yeah, we might.
No.
We haven't got the evidence yet. She hasn't been charged, so we may find something. But what we do know is that she said her biggest fear was the Woody Allen thing, which means what?
That is weird. What a weird witch. I'm so sorry. She's such a weirdo. I don't care what anyone says. Like, I feel like she had so much evidence, like the whole insomnia, falling asleep in class, being constipated, like all these signs that I just feel like anybody with any maternal instinct, like you don't even have to have children, just like have maternal instincts. You don't even have to be a woman. You could be a man and you could have known that something was wrong.
Right.
Like something was clearly wrong. And she was just like so out of touch. Like, and I hate to say this, but I feel like I have known many women like Jen in my life, like desperate, just so willing to put a man before their children. And like, really that is the problem here. Like she was so out of touch with her daughter and she she put this man in front of her, and look, he took her life. Like,
and that's who we should be pointing at is Jen and Steph, and everybody around has a set of circumstances that we don't know, and they're incorporated into this because they have relation to the family. But don't think that I didn't vet this situation before going in. Don't think I didn't have extensive talks with Deb, for instance, or anybody else that comes on here, or cases I cover. I know what what I'll take and whatever. And the last 6 and 7 years, there wasn't a lot of context. Stephan kept real quiet with Jen and what they were doing. So we need to focus more on Jen, and then, whatever's going to happen to Stephan's going to happen to Stephan. That's on him.
Yeah, Stephan is I feel like he's protecting her. I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but that's just like a hunch I have. It feels like he's protecting her from, if she did know, if they did have some sort of pact, like, he's not going to say anything about it.
Well, wait, she was protecting though, because when we watched that again, she told them to get a lawyer when she knew her daughter was missing. She already knew a lot of this, and she protected him. The officer even said, "Why do you care more about Stephan than Maddie?"
I remember that.
So
I remember that. She's a weirdo. She's just a weirdo.
And I also covered cases every day about women that are just like Jen Sodto, just to let you guys know it exists all the time. This is not a one-off situation that happened with Jen. It just happened that Maddie got her life lost, and so it was all exposed. Think about that.
And it's disgusting, as we need to step up, and we need to put our children first before everyone. And I don't know, it's just be a strong woman. Like, just be that maternal figure. I don't know. Who am I to say? But I will say one thing though.
I appreciate your comments and understanding that your perspective is your perspective. We don't have to be like, oh yeah, Nettie, sorry, I'm wrong. You're right.
Right. No, everybody is entitled to their own opinions, but you know what they say about opinions?
Assholes.
They're like bumholes. Everyone has one. But I will say, I do want to say this, that listening to Stephan say that speech at that trial, like, I wish somebody would have just cut him off. Like, that burned me so. I was so angry about that. Like, nobody, you're done talking.
I do.
Like,
I agree.
What you have to say doesn't matter anymore.
They shouldn't have.
Shut up.
I wish they would not have let. I wish they'd not have let him made that statement, but it further gives me evidence and proof that he really thought him and Maddie, or felt him and Maddie, were in this relationship. And when she was 18, they were going to run off. They had some kind of something, and Jen was jealous, and she knew. Now, I'm making a lot of assumptions just because there's a lot more things that I know that happened or that has been said that leads me to believe that. And you don't call for a lawyer for a man that X, Y, and Z, right? That you just saw a picture of a blowjob. She did it before and she did it after she saw those.
What was she thinking? Like, and then the whole, I don't think that's evil. Oh, really? Well, what do you think's evil? Like, what, are you kidding me? Like, you're a child. Like, I wouldn't let someone harm my dog.
Right.
Like, you let this man, okay.
No, I agree. Jen. I agree with you. And I knew what I was getting into with this case. And I appreciate everybody's commentary, and thank you for the respect. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
You have a nice, happy, like, okay, this is it. If she gets arrested, then cool. If she doesn't, then she's an ass. We knew it, right? I mean, there's a possibility. Let me tell you real quick. There's a possibility that I'm wrong and all these people in chat are wrong, and Jen didn't know anything, and she was so DRUG'd up that she just didn't pay attention. She just wanted a babysitter, and that was happening under her nose. That's a possibility, right?
And you know what? I want to believe that. Right. I really do. I want to believe that Jen is just a dumb person. Like, she's just an idiot. Like, and when I watch her interviews, because we've all watched her interviews a million times. Like, to me, she just says the dumbest things. Like, what is wrong with this chick?
Right.
Like, she's just, I don't know. So I want to believe that, but then also there's all this evidence. Like, how could you not have known? Like, you cannot be this dumb.
Right.
Like,
that's why she got the potato name, because we're like, either A, she's just this lady that walks around just completely high for the last 7 years and she's out of it, or she had something to do with it and she knew, but she ignored the signs, or she completely knew, gave Stephan all access, and they were making money together and she was in it. So there's different possibilities, right? We don't know.
Well, I don't think we'll ever know. Like, I don't think we'll ever know, but like you said, like something about this case really captured my attention. I think it probably was Jen.
Right.
And I'm glad it led me to you. I really want to thank you. I enjoy your show so much. I enjoy your personality so much. And all the crime crew, like, you guys are so cool. Like, for the most part, everybody's real cool and chill. And like, I like it. I like being part of this group.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate that. We all do. We all strive to, have a good time with each other when it's not so heavy and just have each other's back. And it doesn't mean we have to agree at all, right? We don't have to agree to be cool.
Right. No.
But well, yeah, may Maddie get the justice she deserves. Where are you calling from, by the way?
So I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
I think I've said that a few times. Like, I'm really proud of Detroit. I'm like, Detroit. That's my city. What up, though? Like, I love it. So I'm gonna. I think I actually was like defending Detroit whenever you were covering the Naziah Harris. Case. I was like, no, that's not an accurate representation of where I'm from.
And you just got to remember that it was just that community of people, and it is a systematic failure. The family was. I mean, I'm covering that case now. I'm watching it, and these people are out of their mind. They let that slip. But no, it's not Detroit. It's just there's communities in Detroit.
Right. Yeah, no, for sure. And there's communities like that everywhere. I mean, because like, look at where Stephan, that's what I was trying to say is like Stephan and Sterns and Jen and whatever, they're from like right next to Disneyland. Like, this can happen anywhere. It can happen in the happiest place on earth, like, but I want to tell you something about that Naziah Harris case.
Yes, please do.
So like her family, because Detroit, it's a real small place for real. It's tiny. Like, a lot of people know each other. And, that grandma in the Naziah Harris case, I guess she thought that she was just going to go places like a normal person in the city and like go to grocery stores and go to cognac restaurants and stuff. And people were harassing her, like literally harassing, like calling her names. And I heard that someone threw something at her. Like, they had to stop going in public because they thought that they were just going to walk around like normal people after that. But
people speculate that she get arrested for a minute. The grandma, a lot of people are saying she was like involved in it, that she had part of it, and he dumped Naziah. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure they brought all those fools in for questioning. That was another sickening case.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
really
that's why I cover cases like this, because I want people to know that this is not just your worst nightmare that you're going to hear once. This happens every day. Women sell their children every day for a few dollars.
Disgusting.
I know
it really is. Like, we just got to pray for this world.
Exactly.
For real. Because there's some for real evil going on. Like, for real. Like,
wait until tomorrow. I've got Maxwell Anderson, straight up. That guy's evil AF. I mean, I don't know if you know about the Sade Robinson case, but what he did to her, went around. He dismembered her, and they never found her head. And he just the trial just ended and everything. You don't remember? I'm gonna do it tomorrow. But he dismembered her, took her body parts all over. Her first one that was found was in a park, and they still can't find her head. She's still missing a head and maybe an arm or a leg. Anyway, so that happens all the time.
Well, I'm gonna check you out. I'm gonna be at work, but I'm gonna do my best to try to still listen with with one ear pod and my other ear to the ground at work. But
all good. We'll be here.
All right, Jay. Thank you so much for answering me. I was calling. I was calling, girl.
Hey, I even called you back. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, guys. 408-538-1516. If anyone else wants to call in, chat still flying. I saw you. Good to see you, my friend. Since I'm constantly asking Jesus, please take the wheel. Yes, true crime. True crime Mitch, Arizona. I'll just call you True Crime Mitch. Anyway, Maxwell case is crazy. I've been covering the Maxwell, or I call it Sade Robinson case, since the beginning. And since I have been covering that, I really need to wrap it up with the victim impact statements and the sentencing. So yes, tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. All right, are you guys done? I see a lot of people kind of calming down from chat. If anyone else wants to call in, there were people calling earlier. We might as well round the hour up. Thank you, MM Clark. I appreciate you. You are on free for tonight. Hey, we haven't got to talk about this case. We haven't got to talk about it because it's over and it didn't go to trial. Let me refresh the number one more time. And if you guys are tired and done, you guys were just maybe getting a kick out of all the stuff, then and love you, MM. Good to see you here. I'm so happy for what's going on in your life, and I'm glad you're doing good. All right. One ear pod gets the job done. All right, guys. I'm gonna close the phone line then. Tomorrow is Saturday, Marcy, and tomorrow we're gonna come on at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. Come on, Mo, call in. I don't do call-ins every week, so 408-538-1516. When I know you guys are all heated to go, then I do call-ins. All right. So if you guys want to give a call tomorrow, we're gonna do justice for Sade. All right, let's see what we got.
Call from
Jody Killam.
All right. Hello, Jody. Where are you calling from?
I am calling from Montana.
Montana. How you doing?
Yes. Oh, I am so grateful for your show. I found you through Duty Ron when Madeline Soto.
Yes.
When they first took Stephan Sterns' phone.
Yes.
And I just thought, oh my God, I have got to follow her.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that so much. I respect Duty Ron and Ed and all those people that just are doing their due diligence in the case and putting out facts, right?
I agree, but I haven't watched them in a long time.
I know.
I'm watching you.
I know. I haven't watched them in a long time because I've been doing the show too.
Yeah. Well, I did want to ask you. I heard. I don't remember if I heard it or I read it today that Madeline was choked by the dog collar. That's how her neck broke.
So we're going to talk about that next week because so many people came to me and I'll tell you where the foundation of this came from, right? So yeah, you probably did watch the videos and the analysis. Now, we speculated in the beginning of the case when Stephan went in the room and Jen said, or she told everybody that he was taking the dog for a walk in the morning and he let her sleep. That's where that came in with the leash. We've never seen, there's never been evidence. There's never been an evidence list that talks about a dog leash with DNA on it. There hasn't been anything like that. So it's speculation. I even speculated that because there were dog leashes in the car he was driving, they had it in the front seat, that's how he held her up. But come to find out, that car only had those because it was the poodle ambulance and they had them on all the seats. So did he use that or was it? So that's what we're at. I'm so glad that you brought that up because next week we are going to cover part 1 and part 2 so we can see how we feel about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I am so I knew you would be the one to know. I knew it.
Yeah, that was a big speculation back then because also it only got brought up once. And then every time that they gave the narrative, I didn't hear about it again. I didn't hear about a leash. I didn't see the leash in evidence. Did you?
No, I didn't.
So
well, I'm a grandma, right? So it's like, oh man, I'm going to be 60 years old next week. And I'll tell you, the thought of anybody doing anything to my grandchild just.
Right. And that's how I feel.
Devastating.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, if I can say one more thing, I know you got people calling.
No, you're the last call tonight, so don't worry about it. You're all good. Now you got it the last time, and I do want to.
Can I
go
share
ahead.
something?
Absolutely, and then I have one more question for you when you're done.
Oh, of course.
All right.
You know, in '96, my sister-in-law was brutally murdered in her apartment. And they never found who did it. They figured it was more than one person.
Wow.
But it affected my oldest boy quite a bit.
Right.
And the crazy thing is that I kept thinking, death penalty, get those guys and just death penalty all the way. Well, fast forward and into 2003, and my oldest boy beat somebody terribly.
No.
He did not kill them.
Good.
But thank God. I mean, the young man cannot have a military career anymore, but he can have a life, and he drives. I mean, yeah.
But you didn't know that was going to happen, even though you knew it affected him. You're saying that you were in his head and knew that he was going to do that. What? Just kidding.
No, I just knew that he had a lot of problems. So we did like in-home counseling, out-of-home counseling. So when I look at Deborah Sterns,
right,
it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because I know what it's like to just not believe that your child could do that.
Have you written him off? Did you write him off and say,
"Oh no, no"?
That is that was initially why I approached Deb Sterns, because I approached her months before she wrote back. And I said, hey, my mom's gone through the same thing you're going through because of my nephew and my brother. Let's talk.
Yeah.
I want to make sure people understand that they need to place the blame where it goes. And then I asked a bunch of questions, right? So go ahead. How do you deal with
it? I didn't talk to him. Well, I did. I did talk to him as little as possible. Number one, back then, the jail calls, I couldn't afford them. I had just broke my back.
Right.
I've got like oodles of screws and rods and pins in my bag.
Right.
And
happy birthday, by the way. Happy early birthday. Are you a Leo?
Yes.
Yes.
August 15th, I'm a Leo.
Leo power, baby. All right.
So happy Leo birthday to you too.
Yes.
But no, Brandon and I get along great now. And because an off-duty officer caught him. By caught him, I mean he stepped out of his house, saw this going on, pulled a gun on my son.
Right.
Thank God he did not shoot my 17-year-old a-hole son.
Right. Right.
Because that 17-year-old
when he was 17.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now he'll be 40 this year.
Okay, so he made it through all that, apparently.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, he got a 30-year sentence, 25.
Oh, wow.
It was 30 years, 5 suspended. And it was his first felony, but he got nailed. And justifiably. I mean, I drove him to the police station. It's like, you think you're big enough to pull this kind of a crime, kid? Let's see how big you are now.
Right.
And I was furious.
Right. But you stood by him.
Kid.
Right. You stood by him.
I gave birth to this boy. You know what I mean? It's like you don't give up your child because they really messed up.
Right. And that's where perspective I came from, not with my own children, just seeing my mom kind of suffer through this stuff and the different things.
Oh,
yeah. I just can't, I can't see that. I don't like that. But let's get to the root of it. If that's where the blame lies, then it should lie there. Had I found out different things than what I did, I would have said, screw that. I'm not talking to you. You're a piece of trash, just like your son.
Right.
I said that. I didn't do this because I wanted to get people hating my channel because I have Deb Sterns or people thinking I'm messed up because I'm whatever. I did it because I can sympathize. And once I talked to her and I really had to strip down like who she is, where she's coming from, why she said what, then I could understand. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and you go, I mean, you I'm sure you know this with what you've been through. You go through this like denial where you just want to protect your loved one. And no, there had to have been a reason for him to do this. There's no way, something had to have happened.
Right.
And
something probably did happen, but it doesn't mean we saw it. You knew your son was angry, but would you thought that he would beat someone to?
Well, and something did. My youngest son had gotten another 17-year-old in his group had beaten up my youngest 12-year-old son.
Right.
And Brandon just happened to find them, and holy hell broke loose, and it was kind of a group of kids that were all high schooler kids. And like I said, my 12-year-old son was trying to defend his 12-year-old little buddy.
Right.
And she was like, I don't want that 17-year-old calling me anymore.
Right.
It was so messed up and convoluted. But the fact that you abandon your child, like I said, when that happened to my sister-in-law, it was all death penalty. But when all of a sudden my kid could have been facing the death penalty.
Right.
It's like.
And it would have been like
what?
that. It would have been like that. It wouldn't have been anything that you could have stopped. It wouldn't. The warning signs were. Who knows what the warning sign? You could have thought something different. So we can't. I mean, who are we to judge? That's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying I don't come hard. I definitely come hard at the people that commit the crimes before I even know if they're convicted. That is one thing I do. But we have to. The world's not black and white, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a whole lot of gray.
Yep, absolutely. Love flowers. Hi, family, just logging in. Well, thank you. Yeah. I was gonna ask you something. Now I forgot. So anyway, happy birthday month to you. I totally forgot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had left a message on another video because I don't know how to email from my phone.
Okay.
And you had asked for other cases. I watched that one about the little boy who was the pig. Okay.
Oh, yes, fed the pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a case here in Great Falls, Montana, in 21 about a little boy. I don't know how to email from my phone, so I'm sorry. His name was Tony Renova.
Okay, Tony
Renova. And Tony Renova. And my God, what happened to him is so devastating. And what makes it worse is that it has a lot to do with the foster homes and
basically everything we talk about, CPS.
Yes, but it involves the aspect of, like, here in Montana. I don't know about anywhere else. Because he was in a foster home with white people.
Right.
There was an issue. They wanted him in with his native family, but they ended up putting him back with mom and dad.
No, yeah, that's what it happens every time. It happens every time. I'm looking at the case right now. Anthony Renovo, 2019. They got sentenced to, it was a 5-year-old, and Stephanie, 34, 33 were the parents, and this was a little like Hispanic boy, maybe.
Indian, native.
Okay, India. Okay, yeah. They got 100 years in prison without the possibility of parole.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look into this story and you'll know why they got 100 years.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Horrible.
Right. Well, I was going to ask you, and I'm looking at that right now. I will take a look at that. I've got 3 or 4 other cases almost identical to that, except a boy, a girl. That just happened 2 weeks ago, a month ago. So I just want you to know that this is not an isolated thing. It just keeps happening. It's wild and it's awful.
Until I got onto YouTube, actually that was just during the coronavirus. I got cancer, so I was home all the time.
Right.
And I didn't know true crime was on YouTube. And when I found it, it's like, oh my gosh, so all this is, I come from a town where there's just not a lot of crime.
Right. Hold on real quick. Let me the caller's calling in. If you want to hold for a second, I can take your call in just a moment. Okay. But yes, no, you're good. You're good. I wasn't going to take any more calls, but somebody keeps calling. I'm like, they want to keep talking. But yes, come back next week because we're going to cover that. And I want your input, whether it's in chat or whatever, about the dog leash thing. I could talk to you for another half an hour about that because I haven't watched it yet. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but I know where it's coming from. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yep.
All right.
Well, I am so glad. Thank you for all you do.
Absolutely.
Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
You're very welcome. Hit that like button on your way out, okay?
Oh, I already hit it.
You're such a sweetheart.
One of your people gave me a subscription.
Oh, you got
right?
it. Awesome. You got gifted a membership?
Yes, I got an email, and I know how to open them, and I know how to reply to them. I just don't know how to send them.
Right.
So, doggone.
We'll get it figured out. All right. You have a good night.
You too.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. I had one more person calling, guys. Let me see if you guys want to call. I'll take that. I meant to shut the line down. There's a 313 area code. Let's see. I'll try see if I can call you back. If you answer, we'll take that call. All right. If not, then we're good. I want to see the cactus bee. Come on. No, you don't.
Hello.
Hello there. I just missed your call. This is Jay with Guilty of Crime. Did you want to? You got something to say?
Oh my gosh. Hi, Jay. How are you? Thank you for calling me back.
You're welcome. I'm gonna shut the phone line down. That's the last call. What do you got?
Oh, I got the last call.
You did.
Aw.
How you doing?
Thank you. Well, guess what? I'm calling from Detroit. So
Detroit.
Yeah. Detroit's popping today.
It is popping. I have a lot of people that call from all over that area. There's not that many Cali folks. What do you got?
Well, I'm gonna say two things. Regarding the Sterns parents.
Okay.
I don't have any I don't feel any way about them. You could have 6 kids and they could just go bad. You could be the best parents in the whole world.
Right.
You could do everything for your kids and they just make stupid decisions. I don't think that they're responsible for any of it. I really don't.
I mean, that's why I even hopped onto that. And Deb just actually tried to call in and she couldn't get through. That kind of sucks because it's okay. We'll fix that
They
later.
seem like lovely people.
But here's the thing. Yeah, there was some dumb things that might have been said and they didn't realize that, right? Think about this. Think about like your son doing something and you're talking on the jail calls and you have no idea they're recording it and you're giving your son or whoever, right? Just trying to pad that for him. Could you imagine those phone calls getting on blast for the whole world?
I think they were just talking him through it and trying to be as supportive as they could and still try to separate themselves from the situation.
Right.
But, you know,
but I
like I
appreciate
said,
you
you
for
could have
saying that. Yeah.
You parents do the best that they can and sometimes children go down a different road and they make the decisions that they make.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I hope they're better. I wish them well.
Right. And I appreciate that.
You know. And I made a comment in your comment section and listen, this was my comment.
Right.
No pending litigation against Jen Sodto.
Right.
So Jay, come on, you've got a platform. You can do an open call. You can say, I would love to hear Tatiana's viewpoint of the whole thing.
I would like, you
know what I'm saying? Like she's watching her husband go through all this and I'm sure it's affected their relationship. So, you know, and some of the roommates, like what were the red flags to the roommates? And, you know, they're probably in a certain position, you know,
I mean,
don't want to mess up their.
They didn't even speak English. One of them didn't speak English, and they were trying to be cool with Yolanda and Stephanie. They were BFFs. So what about them? I mean, well, you know what I mean? But still, I would never do that to somebody. You guys are roommates. Why didn't you call? It's your fault. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure I would have done it different, and I'm sure you would. But I think their situation, they were just trying to walk a fine line. You know,
right?
I don't know, or you know, but yeah. Guess what? Anybody can say anything they want. Right. There's no litigation. They're not going to be a witness for anything.
Yeah.
So go ahead and talk. They have a right to feel how they feel. And I think with a wonderful platform such as yours,
thank you.
would be a good outlet for them.
I do. It sucks though, because they got really tainted. Not only did they lose their daughter, because Tatiana has been with Tyler since Maddie was born, because Tyler cheated on Tatiana with Jen and she got pregnant. Right. So Tatiana, you can see the baby pictures of her. She also was devastated, and the narrative that she's been, running and talking for Tyler, they've got really jaded. There's been a lot of things I can't really say that's happened behind the scenes to them, and different nasty things that have kind of broken up their family, against the Sotos and whatever. So I don't know if they're even going to talk. I wish, and I had a little hope in the beginning of this case, but it's pretty bad. But everybody's broken from this case.
And I mean, her husband probably had a nervous breakdown.
Right.
And they're trying to, keep their day-to-day together, keep a roof over their head and food on the table.
Right. And I bet he wishes he never cheated with the nasty potato and none of this happened, but we can't. And you're right. I hate to say this, but they really don't have money at all. They're on this like awful fixed income. Again, it's not an excuse. I'm just saying what it is.
No.
And he lost his daughter, and she lost her stepdaughter.
Well, yeah. I mean, they seem like lovely people too. So, and it was just like a hurricane.
Yes.
From nowhere. It just,
I do.
Out of nowhere.
Right.
And so, I would just like to say to all of your many listeners, if you want to talk it out with Jay, you want to sound out, you want to say your piece, you can feel how you feel, and I guess arrest Jen Sodto.
Right. Yes. Hashtag arrest Jen Sodto. We're going to keep up on this case. It's not going to be all the time, obviously, because, why beat a dead horse? But we are going to make sure that we catch the things that are happening with it and talk about it when we can, right? Because a lot of you guys came from that case, and I hope you continue with these other cases, because they really do they pattern what happened to Maddie.
I got to be honest, that one that you had on, I think last week, I just couldn't stomach it. I was just like, I just can't hear this.
I know a lot of people said that. And YouTube doesn't like them either, but the problem is it's happening. And so I just want to make sure when someone says, hey, I know this person that this, or they message me, it's really close. So then I put them, but they're hard to hear, right?
They are. And it stays with you. And you're like, I could never conceive in my head of these things happening, and it's so horrible. It's just horrible.
Absolutely.
But Jay, you're great. You're great. And you've got so many people that love you. Ever since you started covering this case, I've been with you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We're here.
May you be blessed.
May you
be blessed and happy.
May we all continue to be blessed, right? Because we're all here. That we have a roof over our head. We have telephones, computers, right? We're all. And until we walk in someone else's shoes, we're blessed. We don't want to, we don't want to, we live in glass houses too. So we don't want to throw stones. And I appreciate that. You are the last call tonight. Deb did try to call in and I missed it. So I'm going to read her statement and then we'll be back tomorrow.
All right. Let's just say to Deb and Chris, be well, be well. Please take care of yourself.
Right. That's what I tell them too. I tell them
it's okay to be selfish. You're not being selfish.
Yes.
If you're protecting your mental health.
That's what I said.
That is not selfish.
Yep. I agree. I told them, go live your best life now. It's done. Relax. Go get yourself comfortable. Live the last part of your life however you want. And whatever happens to Stephan will happen. You'll support him when you can. But don't live the rest of your life just for that awful thing that happened,
Right.
So that's advice I give
nice
too.
Talking to you. Thank you.
You too. You have a wonderful night and happy Friday.
Oh, thank you so much. Stay blessed.
Thank you. You too. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, guys, I'm done. That was the last call, but let me read real quick. Deb still has yet to call in. She tried to call, but it was at the last minute. Probably rightfully better off. So she tried to call. Let me just read the statement before we go. I know I had to. I mean, this has all been build up from the last couple of weeks of not being able to talk about the case and just seeing, it run wild. So she said, I just tried to call in. Jay, this is why I would only talk to you after the interview. You and Lauren and John are honest. Thanks for trying to redirect that caller. She had an agenda and she went for it. Hate the mom. Wow. How many ways can I say there were no red flags in the interaction between Maddie and Stephan? That within 15 minutes of Maddie telling me about the sleeping arrangements at home, I had Stephan and Jen in front of me and confronting them. Then she made Maddie sleep with her. Understand it's a king bed and I have 3 dogs between me and her. She wanted to go to sleep with them and I said no to her. And that's what I've always told everyone. I would have done the same thing, but Deb, I would not have called CPS. People say, why didn't she call CPS? That's bullshit. If somebody came over to my house to visit me that I only saw, every other month, 6 times a year, and I was scolding the child saying, you're too old to be sleeping with them. Come on, you're going to sleep on the other side with the dogs. I wouldn't have got on the phone and called fucking CPS and been like, hey, I'm turning my son in and I'm turning Jen in because you, and I'm talking to you now, Deb. I'm responding. And thank you, Suzanne, for the $20 Cash App. So anyway, I'm just kind of speaking up for the last part of this show and people saying, why didn't she? There was no way that you could have known or Chris could have known or would have even imagined in your wildest dreams what was happening. And I would have done the same thing. I'd have said, no. My mom would have done the same thing. My mom tells my daughter, you're too big. Here's your, whatever. It's much different. But I couldn't imagine my mom scolding me about something how I raised my kid and then calling CPS without even talking to me. You did what you were meant to do, what you thought you needed to do, and that's what you did. And they did what they needed to do, and that's what they did. And Maddie lost her life. And had she not lost her life, she still would have been having an awful life to deal with that nasty monster Jen Sodto that didn't do a damn thing to help her daughter. And Stephan thinks he was in love with her. And as much as I don't like to say that, I'm telling you that the couple times that I've talked to him and asked him about Maddie, or not even prompted to really talk about Maddie, he's told me how much he loved Maddie. We all heard it in his statement. She was his favorite person and he was hers. I quote him saying that to me. And that's when in my mind I said, okay, he really did in his mind, whatever was going on, him and Maddie at some point, whatever they talked about, maybe she got a little older and thought and was so groomed that she thought her mom's a bitch and she's going to run off with Stephan and he's going to treat her good because he always does. But that didn't happen and she lost her life and nobody else's fault, that direct fault, or they would be on trial. But Jen and Stephan, and Jen didn't even get charged. So what the hell? How ridiculous are we to sit there and say those roommates should have been charged? Tyler didn't do his due. Deb and Chris gave birth to a mom. Who am I? Who are you guys to say that? And only knowing what you know from YouTube, where it gets edited and enhanced in order to be this dramatic thing. Anyway, I just wanted to say my piece. You're a good sport, Deb. I appreciate you for being here. I didn't want you to have to listen to that, but I always give you the option. Hey, people are going to be mean. You can opt to be here or opt not to. All right. And that being said, you're here. You're a tough mama bear. And yeah, I give you every, kudos to you, love to you. And I just want you and Chris to spend the rest of the last half of your lives. I hate to say it, but spend it with each other, with the dogs, whatever you choose to do, eating that that coconut pie, going to a restaurant, whatever it is, make sure that you do that. And Stephan will come and go as whatever he's doing, but don't live your life or focus around him, because he's still going to do what he's going to do, whether you tell him something or not. All right. So that being said, we've been here for 3 hours and 15 minutes. I have not been on here that long for a long time, and that's all I wanted to say. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. Tomorrow we are going to be here on a Saturday. If you guys just came in now, you're on the rewatch crew, please come hang out with us. It's going to be a lot more chill. We're going to watch sentencing in the Sade Robinson Maxwell. I'll just call him Maxwell the Demon. We're going to watch that together as we wrap that case up in justice for Sade. We're going to have conversations. We could talk about whatever and just hang out. We're going to hang out on a Saturday night, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. All right. And all your comments and questions matter. We'll do that tomorrow and just have a chill Saturday, because we never hang out on Saturday. All right. I love you guys. Anybody that talked tonight, thank you for calling in. If you didn't agree with me, that's okay. If you still don't agree with me, that's okay. I'm not going to leave you guys, but you guys don't have to come here. If you don't want to come here, I respect you. For those that never want to come back to Guilty of Crime because maybe I offended you or someone else did, I assure you, I never want to make someone feel bad or feel like you lost a friend or nothing nefarious to anybody. All right. So I just want you guys to know it's all love, and that's it. And you guys have your opinion. I see what you guys are saying, and have it. All right. Enjoy your weekends, but do come back tomorrow and come hang out. Come say hi. All right. Love you guys. Thank you for supporting the channel, whether you agree with me or not. All right, guys. Take care. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully, and have a wonderful night. Sorry, mods. I kept you all night. Love you, Mr. Chief Rocka. And everybody say bye. All right. All right. I love the trolls coming in at the end. Get your trolling in, guys. Get your trolling in. It's all done, baby. Good night.
Guilty of Crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of Crime.
Are you guilty?